and Councillor Jesse James Clark. Jesse, morning.
Yeah, morning to you and morning to your listeners.
How are you doing, sir?
But I'm good enough. I'm good. I'm here getting ready to go to a funeral for one of our constituents.
All right. Jesse, introduce yourself to us. Tell us who is Councillor Jesse James Clark.
All right. So, my name is Jesse James Clark. I'm the councillor for the Trafalgar Division. I'm also the junior spokesperson for health and wellness. And at the KCMC, I chair the Public Health and Sanitation Committee.
I don't want you to stop this no more. You give us your professional credentials.
Okay, so I'm a medical technologist. I'm both a medical scientist and I'm also a food scientist.
You're a food scientist.
Yes, and I'm also a medical scientist too.
So I heard a politician say that people must just listen to politicians. And I ask you for your professional credentials because I want my listeners and my viewers to know that when you talk about contaminants in the water, you know what you're talking about. You're not just talking from the seat of your pants.
Yes. I get a little
started, Councillor. Tell us.
All right, so the first thing I want to let the listeners know is that the results that we spoke about, I did not do the testing for it. This was NWC that did the testing. And so it's their own results.
And the first time you saw these results was in the public sitting of the KSAMC.
Right. So at our Public Health and Sanitation Committee meetings, all the key agents at our Public Health and Sanitation Committee meetings, all the key agencies that have to do with public health, they are represented there and they have to give a report. For example, solid waste, National Solid Waste Management, the Kingston Health Department, National Water Commission, Veterinary Services. So all the different groups that will have an impact on public health, they have to come and they give a report or update as to what is happening.
And this at every parish council across the island.
Yeah, man. These are standard committees. It's a standard committee.
Yes.
So all the parish councils have it.
Right. Now, when you saw those results, what did you see?
So we saw the results. They were a little bit elevated. It was late last year, so we decided that we don't just want to see the results. We wanted to look at the places physically too as well, so that in case of anything, we could give some suggestions in terms of, not only in theory, but to look at what was happening practically in terms of how the water was being processed.
Hold on. Did you say the first time you saw elevation in the results was last year?
Yeah, man. It was late last year. And the reason that we got for it is because, remember, they were having some heavy rainfalls in last year.
Right.
However, that is still not an excuse for the quality of the water.
Talk to me.
Because if you have proper mechanisms in place, you can deal with whatever.
This is Taggy YBC, maddest uprising artist right now. You hear that? I'm on your tuning for latest. Bama them, banger them. So join me on the musical journey, the hit road. Click a link, man, and be a part of the family.
External environment that might impact the quality. So even with that, we still wanted to go and look at the site to see what was happening.
Right.
So when we finally, they gave us the okay and they gave us a tour of a number of the facilities, including their lab too as well.
So NWC gave you the tour?
Yes, man. NWC gave us a tour. And I want to include too as well that the committee is made up of both PNP and JLP members. And they had a concern with it at that time. Go again?
PNP and JLP councillors.
Yeah, man. PNP and JLP councillors make up the committee. And also PNP and JLP councillors went on the tour too as well.
Good.
And they were all concerned about the water quality.
Okay.
So the only time they decided to backtrack was when it became public. They decided to step back from...
I'm going to say it, Jesse. I could do it in stages. So last year, you saw the elevated results. And
yeah, man, I did the tour. So, but the facilities that we visited weren't the ones that were problematic for the most part.
Right.
It was one of the largest treatment plants in the Caribbean, Constant Spring, and so on. So that wasn't the one that we wanted to visit.
Okay.
So we eventually got the chance to visit the ones, the rural ones now that were given the problem. That
was showing the elevated results.
Yeah, man. So we got to visit those in February of this year.
Yes.
And we decided that what we saw, we weren't happy with what we saw. And we got a better understanding, a first an understanding as to why the water quality, was the way it is. And because up to that point, they still had not accepted any of our recommendations. We decided to go public after that visit because it was just too bad.
So you were in dialogue, or the committee was in dialogue with the National Water Commission from last year.
Yeah, man.
And
we're in constant dialogue.
And you made recommendations to them, and those recommendations weren't followed.
Yes.
So
and these recommendations included the JLP members too as well. So it wasn't anything that we tried to do in secret or to try and make it political or anything like that. We were just generally concerned about the quality of the water.
So hold on now. When you tour those rural seems like we've lost that. Just so yeah. Was rural water supply area. Did NWC representative? Did you have NWC representative on those tour?
Yeah, man, they are the ones that brought us to these sites.
To the one, can you name some of the sites, some of the rural sites?
So like for example, Seaview, Bilbo, Bowden, these are up in the hills. So some of these sites, when you get to them, when you drive, you have to then hike for like a next 30 to 45 minutes to get to the actual water source.
And you guys did all of that?
Yeah, man, we did it because we thought it was important for us not to actually see what was happening, because it was out of a genuine concern, as I said to you. It wasn't,
of course, for people's lives and well-being.
Absolutely. So the problem only got worse. So simply put, the problem only got worse, and we decided that they're not putting in the recommendations that we want. So we decided to go public. Some of the recommendations that came out from the committee is that we wanted all these rural water treatment sites to have a filtered mechanism on them before chlorination.
Right.
So what we saw happening in some of the sites was that the water, no filtering was happening, it just went straight to chlorination and they send out the water at the same time.
Right.
And we had a problem with that because the water, when you're at the bigger plants, it has to go through several steps of filtering and purification. But we understand you can do all of those at a smaller site. But you must have filtering at the very least taking place before you get to the chlorination. And just to let your listeners understand, it's just like when you're cleaning your house, you sweep it out first before you wipe with a disinfectant. And some people wipe even twice.
Yeah.
You understand? No. And the reason why you sweep out is because you want to get rid of the extra dirt and all of that before you actually wipe. So that's the purpose of the filtering. You want to get rid of some of the germs and the heavier
before you start chlorination.
Before you start chlorination, exactly.
All right. So tell me now, Councillor. Last year you saw elevated levels. What happened January and February? What were the levels like? So
January was at so just to explain again to your listeners, a number of coliforms should not pass 5%. It should have more than 5% that have to do with public health. They are represented there and they have to give a report. For example, solid waste, National Solid Waste Management, the Kingston Health Department, National Water Commission, Veterinary Services. So all the different groups that will have an impact on public health, they have to come and they give a report or update as to what is happening.
And this happened at every parish council across the island.
Yeah, man. These are standard committees. It's a standard committee.
Yes.
So all the parish councils have it.
Right. Now, when you saw those results, what did you see?
So we saw the results. They were a little bit elevated. It was late last year, so we decided that we don't just want to see the results. We wanted to look at the places physically too as well, so that in case of anything, we could give some suggestions in terms of, not only in theory, but to look at what was happening practically in terms of how the water was being processed.
Hold on. Did you say the first time you saw elevation in the results was last year?
Yeah, man. It was late last year. And the reason that we got for it is because, remember, they were having some heavy rainfalls in last year.
Right.
However, that is still not an excuse for the quality of the water.
Talk to me.
Because if you have proper mechanisms in place, you can deal with whatever.
This is Taggy YBC, maddest uprising artist right now. You hear that? I'm on upon the musical journey, the hit road. Click the link, man, and be a part of the family.
External environment that might impact the quality. So even with that, we still wanted to go and look at the site to see what was happening.
Right.
So when we finally they gave us the okay and they gave us a tour of a number of the facilities, including their lab too as well.
So NWC gave you the tour?
Yes, man. NWC gave us a tour. And I want to include too as well that the committee is made up of both PNP and JLP members.
PNP
and they had a
and
concern
GLP
with it at that time. You again?
PNP and GLP councillors.
Yeah, man. PNP and JLP councillors make up the committee, and also PNP and JLP councillors went on the tour too as well.
Good.
And they were all concerned about the water quality.
Okay.
So the only time they decided to backtrack was when it became public. They decided to step back from.
I'm going to say it, Jesse. I could do it in stages. So last year, you saw the elevated results. And
yeah, man, I did the tour. So, but the facilities that we visited weren't the ones that were problematic for the most part.
Right.
It was one of the largest treatment plants in the Caribbean, Constant Spring, and so on. So that wasn't the one that we wanted to visit.
Okay.
So we eventually got the chance to visit the ones, the rural ones now that were giving the problem.
That was showing the elevated results.
Yeah, man. So we got to visit those in February of this year.
Yes.
And we decided that what we saw, we weren't happy with what we saw, and we got a better understanding, a first-hand understanding as to why the water quality, was the way it is. And because up to that point, they still had not accepted any of our recommendations. We decided to go public after that visit because it was just too bad.
So you were in dialogue, or the committee was in dialogue with the National Water Commission from last year.
Yeah, man.
And
we're in constant dialogue.
And you made recommendations to them, and those recommendations weren't followed.
Yes.
So
these recommendations included the JLP members too as well. So it wasn't anything that we tried to do in secret or to try and make it political or anything like that. We were just generally concerned about the quality of the water.
So hold on now. When you tour those rural water supply area, did NWC representative? Did you have NWC representative on those tour?
Yeah, man, they are the ones that brought us to these sites.
To the one, can you name some of the sites, some of the rural sites?
So like for example, Seaview, Bilbo, Bowden, these are up in the hills. So some of these sites, when you get to them, when you drive, you have to then hike for like a next 30 to 45 minutes to get to the actual water source.
And you guys did all of that?
Yeah, man, we did it because we thought it was important for us not to actually see what was happening, because it was out of a genuine concern, as I said to you. It wasn't,
of course, for people's lives and well-being.
Absolutely. So the problem only got worse. So simply put, the problem only got worse, and we decided that they're not putting in the recommendations that we want. So we decided to go public. Some of the recommendations that came out from the committee is that we wanted all these rural water treatment sites to have a filtered mechanism on them before chlorination.
Right.
So what we saw happening in some of the sites was that the water, no filter was happening, it just went straight to chlorination and they send out the water at the same time.
Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the ways of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law do we meditate day and night. For we shall be like trees planted by the rivers of water, that bringeth forth its fruit in its season. Our leaves shall not wither, and whatsoever we do shall prosper. Let us give thanks and praise to the Lord Jesus Christ, because it is he that had made it possible, and not we ourselves. We are his people, sheep of his pasture, and we must enter into its gates with thanksgiving and into his courts with praise, knowing that the Lord Jesus Christ, him alone, is God. A Portland me born, a Portland me always live. You understand? And anybody where come a Portland I want to diss a born Portlander must know that the Portland people will rise up. We have family and friends and schoolmate and classmate and playmates right here. We never live nowhere else. So, when you can't stay in your yard because your deeds are dirty, and the people them where live where you come from know your deeds, so you have to run away and take refuge at other place. Nobody mix up with the original. Because the heights that great men reach and kept were not attained by sudden flight, but they, while their companions slept, were upward toiling through the night. I make certain take off my glasses and close my eyes. I know that from my dog grade 3. What I say? From grade 3, we were taught to work hard. And that poem was used to say to us why you must work hard. Because when you look at people who have excelled, it's not by chance. It's not buck up. That's why it said the heights that great men reach. And they didn't just reach, but they keep. Because some people reach, but them not keep. So the heights that great men reached and kept were not attained by a sudden flight. But they, not by day, but they, while their companions not were sleeping, but while their companions slept. Now some people say we're toiling upward or upward toiling through, not just in the night. Them go right through the night, burned midnight oil, and saw the darkest time before the daylight. Welcome to Caribbean Radio HD across the world. The Colin Bell Show is on. The show where we talk truth and nothing but the truth. And I say to analog politicians, remember that this is a digital age. Anybody who is interested in research, and Audrey Cook say, is not sleeping. No, I hear somebody say Portland was not on the map until their husband got here. But, boy, Portland upon the map, you know. Portland is trending thanks to the Titchfield High School School Challenge team. And I am upset, vexed. And we're going to have for the first time on any one of my show. Well, I may have a call a well. Yeah, man, may I come to you? The first time on any one of my show, we're going to be having the attorney at law, the Rastaman, the next member of parliament for East Portland. We're going to talk to Isaac Buchanan this evening. Right here. So, call some people. Let them know that in East Portland, in the People's National Party, we're not in a way them in. Because in a team sports, a whole heap of role they play. And you don't have to be the captain. And if you was the captain and the manager of the team say, all right, we'll make a next man captain aside. I don't like you get dropped from the side. So you have some people that run off their mouth and say, PNP dash me away. Well, let me tell you something. It's not about self. It's about Portland. It's about Jamaica. It's about Eastern Portland. And that's why we come out openly and we give advice. We don't just criticize, you know. You have some people who can just criticize. Anything you hear Colin Bell, Shaka Fame criticize, listen, I am coming with what I believe is a better plan. So there's a plan to build an urban center in Bryans Bay, Port Antonio. And even though it's not a bad plan, but it's not the best thing for Portland and Port Antonio right now. Some man will come out the river they down so. The river down a Linstead. We not bad mind. And there is a saying that says, so a man thinketh, so is he. So when you hear some people run a get about people bad mind, and them bad mind. Because they want what you have. Them come at your place and see you with your things and want it and bad mind and red eye for it. But let me tell you this. Who God bless, no man curse. So I am saying to the government and whichever going to be in power after the general election, which I am confident is going to be the People's National Party. What Portland need is the development of the East Harbour. And we have a phone line we're open. And we have a brother upon it right now. Named Showerman. Showerman, Wagwan. Showerman. Gone. Anybody knows Portland and know the history of Portland and know what is happening in Portland right now. Portland economy is dead. There's nothing happening here as it relates to economy, as it relates to jobs for our people. Nothing happening. So let me explain to you what the urban center is proposed to do. The urban center, simply put, is another plaza, a shopping center, a mall that they are going to build in Boundbrook. And the plan is to move all government agencies that already exist in the town into that one area. So you're going to have NHT, NIS, Statin, which other government place there? Maybe RGD. I doubt the tax office is going to go down there because the tax office in a them own building already. And that building was renovated recently. So I don't know if the tax office is going to go down there. But what they are going to put down there are existing business. So what they are going to be doing is moving jobs from uptown Port Antonio or downtown Port Antonio to uptown or downtown, whichever way you want to put it. But they are going to move jobs from one place to another. Right? So it's no new jobs. There's an argument that they're going to bring BPO to Port Antonio. Now those, if you even bring those are cheap jobs. Minimum wage jobs. Yeah? And when you check it, BPO is on the down in Jamaica. They are getting cheaper workers in other places. Yeah? So therefore, no new jobs now go down there, no new money now come. And a caller really stimulate my brain Saturday morning when the caller said to me, you remember, because we have a new plaza in Port Antonio that we call Bayshore Plaza. When that was built, it's a big plaza, the biggest one in the town. When that was built, there was excitement. And you had people like Sister Velma, big up yourself, Bashko, that came into Port Antonio and had to pack up and leave. No money, not there. The place poor and broke. So I am saying, Colin Bell is saying, the East Harbour development would be more beneficial to the people of Portland and East Portland and Jamaica. Because the East Harbour will bring back cruise shipping to Port Antonio. Port Antonio, Mr. Man from where you come from, is the birthplace of tourism, especially cruise ship tourism. The first tourist that stepped off a cruise ship in Jamaica did it in Port Antonio. And right now, we are at the back of the line. I am saying develop the East Harbour that can accommodate the mega lines. Because for those who don't know and is joining us, Port Antonio have two harbors. We have an East and a West Harbour. The West Harbour, there's a channel between the Titchfield High School and Navy Island. Now, because it's a channel, it's limited. The channel is small and it's also not as deep. There's a rock coming off the Navy Island under the water that is causing a problem for larger ships. And also the draft is about 9 meters deep. So any ship over 7.5 meter with a draft of over 7.5 meter don't want to come into that harbor. So the East Harbour is the option. And in fact, my information tells me that right now, even without dredging, the East Harbour can accommodate the mega liners. And there are some berths there. But the information I have based on my research tells me that if we build a new harbor, carry it all the way up to Ramtula, up to Firo, then any size ship, any size cruise ship can come into the East Harbour. Now you imagine we getting 1 a week, worse 2 a week. If we ever get 2 of that every week into Port Antonio, just look at what is happening in Falmouth, Bobo, Blind Bartimus. Look at what is happening in Falmouth. Falmouth is growing like a ranger tree, like a grown steak right now. That is what would happen to Port Antonio within 3 years. If you build the East Harbour, develop the East Harbour now. Clown. Showerman.
Shower.
Where I say?
Oh, yeah, the rain down there.
Boy, the rain down your brother, down your white like milk.
Come here, say, river black up down there, mash up down there.
Well, no, the river no mash up now. You know, there's a place named Craig Mill, that bridge that the truck fell through.
Yeah.
What they have there is a fording, and in time it rain, the river wash where they approach to the fording. So nothing can go nor come. And I've been begging them from the truck drop through the bridge. Me I say, put up a footbridge, at least a footbridge that the people them can cross. Nothing still not there yet. But I hear the minister take my advice. Because you see, it's one thing about the minister of transport, him listen to me and take my advice. Sometimes him utter me exact words. Turn off the thing in the background, man. You can't play me in the background. You know, say that I come back in the studio, man.
Yeah.
We are going with shower, man. So, my people, what I am talking about, hold on, shower, man. What me I tell them about?
Yeah, man. Go on, do your thing, man. We don't ask about the river.
Yeah, man. All right. What I am telling these people about is what will benefit my people. You see this fool boy upon TikTok? Him not have nobody and not even a cousin him now, you know. So them just a look hype. We are asking for substance and value. You understand, Velma Gill? Sister Marcia, Brother Lee Croft. We are talking about value for money. You're going to spend $4 billion, build an urban center that will not bring more than about 20 or 30 new jobs. We are talking about a development that will bring 2,000 jobs to the parish. All our attractions will be up and booming again. The transportation sector will start make back money. The Juta men who are suffering for years. Boy, you don't know nothing about Portland. Go sit down. Talk to me. Wagwan.
Colin.
Where is the Pringle?
Evening, sir.
Talk to me.
Tell me something.
Yeah.
The guy where they said the parliament are the biggest court in the land.
Clown.
Right?
But he have a PhD. Permanent head damage, yeah.
But hear me now. Me no hear me there a meeting and I said that everything gone through and the governor
Hey, Pringle. Me glad you bring up that. Let me find it. Me glad you bring it up. Because it's sad, you know. The man at this court.
I say, he say, gone through, so everything the pan line, we go through, in I glean, I don't know one,
Yes.
2 weeks, and
Yeah, man. Sorry about that. Well, on Pringle, my bad. Sorry about that. Go ahead.
you hear me?
Yes, man.
And then again, me and them a talk about this guy when you're in winter. Right? You know what me a talk
You talk the
about?
man with the Integrity Commission?
Yes.
Eh.
Me don't know if you know where me I make mistake. You know, say that one winter who did that govern the Bank of Jamaica during PNP government.
Him, man.
Him?
Brian Winter. Yeah, man.
All right.
Former
you
head
know
of the
man
bank of
Hector Winter.
Hector Winter. Me know the name. Him a did what?
That during your time.
Him a did what?
You see that man there?
Yeah.
I don't know what relationship they are. But he was the editor of the Gleaner during Michael Manley time.
Oh?
And that the man they bash Michael Manley.
Well, I guess there's some connection because I've been hearing some argument because they are talking about this young man who has been elevated to the position of director of corruption prosecution, and they are talking about his relationship with Dayton Campbell. And I am hearing in my circles that if we did talk about Winter couldn't depend on it either. But we're not doing that. So I guess there is some relation. There is some relation.
Winter boy did get Michael Manley's a shame.
Yes.
Then again, we did see 2 school bus, you see?
Well, talk to me. Do your thing.
The school bus, then when we see there seems to be like some school bus when we see there around Florida.
Yeah, man. See him something.
So then I saw that.
I saw one. One day I was coming from Kingston and I passed one down at Dover. But I have seen a lot of pictures of it. And I want to say that if that is the school bus, it is a good thing. I commend them. I give them a mark for that school bus, you know. I don't give them no mark for no road where them a dance pan. I give them a mark for the school bus.
A new bus then?
Which new bus? What do you Pringle? You don't know, say a old bus them then refurbish from America. I left and drive bus them, you know.
You see, when me go, the first time I go buy a bus.
Yeah.
And when me go license authority, I'm meeting to get the license.
Yeah.
You know, say chairman wouldn't give me no license.
Why?
Because I say bus too old.
Oh.
And me have to go one of my friend, one brother we have, Nador Queen. And get a letter from him. We can go to them because transport authority. They give me a letter saying my bus broke down, I have a bus can let me run the road.
Oh, so one bus couldn't take on the school route.
No matter what route you run, you have a spare.
Oh.
Back in the days.
I don't know if it's still a work that way there. I don't know if it still works that way.
Okay. All right, sir. That means
yeah, man. Respect.
All
right, Sir Pringle. Yeah, man.
Good.
You see, if you don't know nothing, you must sit down and relax your bad mind self. Because we see, say on a bad mind active. But let me tell you something. Jesus Christ, me pray to. I'm not bow to no guy. No time. Yeah? Now bow. What Michael Manley say? We are walk through this world on our feet, not on our knees. And Claude McKay say if we must die, let us die like men and not like hogs. So we now bow and we now walla. Welcome to Caribbean Radio HD. Good evening.
Good evening, Uncle Colin. How are you doing?
My day, I know my brother. One love, wagwan.
I just want to remind you of something. I don't know if you're going to talk.
Well, let me tell Pringle something.
All right, cool.
Brian Winter is the son of Hector Winter. Auntie Dawn, thank you very much. Yes, man. So there is the relation. And even I heard one of my colleagues yesterday say, if we were like the GLP, then Brian Winter. But go ahead, sir. Go hear what you say.
Oh, my time.
Yes.
All right, Hector Windsor was a part of the JLP, setting.
Talk to me.
Anyway, I want to remind us about April 1963, Carl Gardens, Montego Bay. It's very important because around this time, on the 13th of April 1963, Bustamante and the Jamaica Labour Party crucified Rasta. When Buster came off the aeroplane in Montego Bay, he said, "Never will I live in a country and can defecate in peace. Anything that look like a billy goat, bring it in dead or alive. Bring in all bearded faced men, dead or alive. What Barnett Street can hold, Pie River will. I will never live in a country where Rasta and Ganja exist. If they exist, God blind me." That is what the Prime Minister of Jamaica said. And I can tell you honestly.
Hold on. Can you repeat all of that?
Yeah, man.
Repeat it.
When Buster came off the aeroplane in Montego Bay, he said, "Never will I live in a country can defecate in peace. Anything that look like a billy goat, bring it in dead or alive. Bring in all bearded faced men, dead or alive. Anything that Barnett Street can hold, Pie River will. If Rasta and Ganja go exist in Jamaica, God blind me." That is what the Prime Minister said.
Are you a Rasta man?
No, I am not a Rasta, but I was born on the 14th of April 1963.
And this,
so I remember.
And this happened when?
The day before I was born.
Whoa.
So I remember being told by Rasta men in Montego Bay because I'm a Montegonian.
Sister Tanya, Sister Nicole, Babette, you hear history? What the gentleman is saying is facts. It's what happened in Jamaica when police was ordered to kill every Rasta. Yeah. It happened. Bustamante was the Prime Minister.
But Colin,
talk to me.
I ask myself, when I hear a poor black man get up and say he was a laborer, I sympathize with him.
Why?
Because I remember you have roast fruit.
Yeah.
And you have what we call Oreo.
So
when I hear a Rasta man say he was a laborer, I know something wrong with him mentally.
Well, that no me understand. Any Rasta man who support the Labour Party don't know him history. No know where him come from. No know how him get a chance for wear locks on him head and a walk street. Him don't know.
Well, I remember being told that when the blood starts to run out of Barney Street, you know what the station is?
Yeah.
When the blood starts to run out of Barney Street station, Bustamante stood up at the front, when he made the statement,
Yeah.
And the firemen hose wash the blood on the road,
Wow. And let me just say to people, if you think it's joke, this Prime Minister, Andrew Holness, apologized for it and set up a fund. Hold on, caller. Hello, good evening. Welcome to Caribbean Radio HD. Hello, good evening. Caribbean Radio, good evening. All right, we know the caller is there. We're hearing everything, but we're not hearing the caller. So let me go back to my call over here, sir. Let me go back to my call over here, sir. Yes, sir. Caribbean Radio, good evening. Yeah, man. Go ahead, caller.
Hey, Colin.
Yes, sir. I am hearing your caller. Go ahead. You have to listen to your phone, you know. Don't listen to the instrument you're listening or watching the program on. Just listen to your telephone. All right, we're not getting through over there, sir. Hello, good evening. All right, we lose the caller there. Sorry about that. But it's time for me to link up my guests. Hello, good evening. Turn off the instruments in the background, please.
Colin.
Yeah, man.
Hold on. The man that talk about the coroner in
Coral Garden
accident, but Coral Garden.
Yeah.
But me want to talk about the police federation. Yeah. Lady where
all right.
where,
Me go ask you,
hold
on. Me go ask you if you call me back because I'm going to have a discussion with Isaac Buchanan. And then you call me back. All right? Hello, good evening.
Man, cool.
Caribbean Radio, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Mr. Colin.
Yes, sir. How you do?
So, Colin, you believe what that the man will say? If that the statement is start before, 1 day before the man, how will you hear that?
Then history is recorded, you know.
Hold on for me. The man said talk 1 day before the man.
Yeah, man, then you don't know nothing we talk before you born.
Oh.
Eh?
I better him say boy him come hear about it, but he can't say he talk 1 day before him born.
Then I hear about it, brother. But call me back, let me talk to Isaac Buchanan and come back to you. Yeah? All right, cool. I'm going to the interview with Comrade Isaac Buchanan. Hold on, I want to talk to Isaac before I take any more call. So don't call me now. Call me after this interview, yeah. And we can entertain your call right after this interview that I'm going to be having with the next member of parliament for Eastern Portland, Comrade Isaac Buchanan, my general. Comrade Buchanan, good evening.
How you doing?
I'm good, you know. What going on with you? How the weather?
I mean, boy, the weather going. I have to be watching the roads and watching the structure. They might escape in nearby bushes, so on high alert right now.
I want you to listen to this. Hold on.
I want to say, open with a quote. The heights by great men reached and kept were not attained by sudden flight, but by day, while their companions were sleeping, toiled upwards in the night.
You were at Titchfield yesterday.
Yes, I was.
And you heard the poem, Beautiful Speaking.
Yes, if I heard the poet.
Yes.
Well, so good day to your listeners and good day to your viewers. You know, I take education very seriously, and I always encourage persons, especially the efforts of anybody.
Yes.
When public speaking, to do their best.
Yes.
So I don't really join the bandwagon of persons who criticize anybody, because it takes a very lot of courage to stand before a lot of people. And I know you are a great public speaker, so you can appreciate that there are just some of us who were not born to do that.
Well, there are certain requirements for certain jobs, don't you think?
No, that is true. But in the absence of the Prime Minister setting those job descriptions and requirements, here we are.
So, you were at the school yesterday, and
yes,
I got some information that the member of parliament wasn't willing to speak if you were there. You know anything about that?
No, the only thing I know is that I was kind of shrugged because she removed herself from sitting beside me.
Oh, she didn't want to sit.
And I promise you, Colin, although I'm a Rasta man, I know the Coral Gardens anniversary was April 11th, but I promise you, I took a shower. I used Scandal as the cologne that day. I did bathe, so I don't know why there was
the
urgent
locks
need to remove herself.
And I have sat beside you a number of times, and the locks smell fresh.
All right, thank you for that. Because one thing I know, cleanliness is godliness.
But you know what upset me, Comrade Buchanan, and why I invite you here this evening? I was a part of Damian Crawford's campaign.
Yes.
And it was the same operation that she would not be in any space that Damian Crawford was. And she shunned Damian. And I'm wondering if it's the same thing they're going to try and play again. But Damian had said something that they held against him. I am sure that you haven't said anything and nobody can accuse you of disrespecting this lady.
No, I have no basis to disrespect the lady. I have no basis to disrespect any of my colleagues or opponents. I will say this. I recognize that in 2025, there is discrimination against dreadlocks. There is discrimination against Afro identity. And it comes from race, color, class. There is just a stigma that comes with being a Rastafarian.
And then we're looking right back at Coral Gardens.
I identify with the Maroons. I'm not surprised that I'm being shunned. So I don't go into the history of that.
Make a commitment to my listeners and the people of East Portland this evening that you will never disrespect that lady.
I make a commitment that I will never disrespect anybody, regardless of how they feel about me.
Beautiful.
What I will do is I will speak the truth and people will be offended. But in this situation, because I am here to serve the people and I'm here to improve people's lives, people will be upset because I ask somebody to show me if their lives have improved significantly or at all in the last 6 years. In the absence of that, people may perceive the questions that I ask and the push to improve lives to be disrespectful. So it's difficult for me to put myself in a position that I would be called a liar at the end of it, Colin.
And when people see you as a threat, they become uncomfortable, don't you think?
I witnessed it firsthand yesterday.
Tell me about it.
And I can only say the God I serve has put me in a position like Moses, and I walk with thy rod and will do accordingly. So I heard Damian brought the staff, so I bring the rod.
Tell us a little about yesterday. You were at the celebration yesterday. It was a great vibe, great look. I mean, it's all over social media. Tell us a little bit about the experience and what you feel that your school now, because you have to now adapt all of the school them in East Portland. Your school, you are my representative. How was yesterday? I was not there. And let me apologize for not being there. I had to go to Kingston yesterday.
No, man, that's fine. I'm going to describe something for you. Children must always be rewarded for walking into excellence and greatness. The vibe that I saw from principals, parents, I'm going to even include the MP and the minister and the mayor who was present, is a celebration that was well worth it because there was an intervention from God to have those young men win that competition. Undeniable. When God speaks, this is the result. The school principal and acting principal was overwhelmed because never before in their lives, and they have never witnessed the type of gifts that was showered on them yesterday in my presence.
You sure you're using shower?
I using shower because let me tell you something. When I hear somebody say $2.5 million for broiler to expand the broiler in the school,
the broiler unit,
so that
yes.
the chicken, I am very, very proud of that.
Yes.
And I look forward to the day that it comes to fruition, and it ought to come before the next election and not fall as an empty promise.
Because they will not be there. She will not be there after the next election, so it needs to come before.
But all promises must be kept.
Yes, and must deliver before election.
I don't make promises that I cannot keep. So, like I said to the students, I made a promise last week, and I came and I fulfilled it. I brought the tablets and handed them out in real time.
How many tablets you handed out yesterday?
A total of 50 tablets was distributed, 20 to the school, albeit 25 in all from the school, but 20, the school has 20 to give out, and 12 to the netball team, 6 to the pot cover bosses, the teachers, the coaches, the executive staff of the quiz, a total of 50 tablets distributed. At a value of 750,000 Jamaican dollars.
All right, and you delivered that yesterday. Congratulations.
Delivered it.
And well done.
And right after that, I hear that the table tennis team are also winners. And then bad me up and say, where are my tablets? And I'm now constrained that I have to go and deliver it.
Yes.
But before that, Norwich Primary, they won the math competition. And they say, if you don't come down here, we, the students, will attack you.
Come for you.
I said, please don't.
We'll
and
come
I
in.
delivered the 8 tablets to the 8 winners.
Yes.
And I am excited that this is the type of threat and terrorism that I want. Bright, educated students demanding funding and access to education at every level.
That is the key to unlock the door from poverty. So,
yes, I'm calling it education badness. I welcome it.
Yes. So we basically applaud our children. And you were there the day after the quiz as well.
Yes, I was.
So
I'm going to give you some history on that. I have been preparing with the netball team. They are flying tomorrow to do a competition in the United States. And immediately everybody was so excited. I was compelled to go the next day.
Yeah.
Because I live here in Portland.
Less people don't know.
Less people don't know. When you live here, it's easy to wake up in the morning and be everywhere.
And be everywhere.
Without the use of a helicopter, but I digress.
Isaac, you are the candidate. We're looking forward for this victory to really give Portland and East Portland quality representation. What are some of the things that you have gone through so far? We know that you're on the ground. Tell us about your journey so far.
You know, the journey is recognizing that there are a lot of persons are hurting. Let me take this time to say that I have inherited and a baton passed from you to me. With a team that includes yourself,
yes,
Natalie Wright, Sean Cook, 2 senior counsels, Dexter Rowland and Wayne McKenzie, and I have been able to be introduced to some of the most interesting and unique human beings. Very prideful, very independent, and is seeking to have their lives improved because in the last 6 years, there has been famine on the land.
Oh, God.
Make no mistake, what I have experienced is overwhelming. I'm not going to lie to you. Because during my house-to-house walks and my interaction with families, they have family members who are now 100 years old, 90, senior citizens that require attention, and we have a very inadequate hospital facility now. That has stood out for me more than anything else. the treatment of the elderly. That includes the mentally and infirm persons in the space. So there has been a lot of neglect. And even though the culture is laid back, it is something that I'm learning to understand that there's urgent need for assistance across the board. Another thing that has been very, very alarming is the limited access to the beach spaces, the overnight capturing and disenfranchisement of land, and just the coastline of Jamaica here in Portland. Blue Lagoon, a parish council road is just blocked by barricades.
And manned by security guard.
By security guards, and the mayor has nothing to say. But he came over there, and I know I made a promise that I wouldn't say anything. But that gentleman who showed up in a green suit,
yes,
I am very surprised that as the mayor of, I'll leave it at that.
As the mayor of Portland, him show up in a green suit?
Show up in a green suit.
But I heard the minister saying that yesterday was not a day for green or orange. So who did that talk?
But we do know what how people can be selective in that. But
yes,
I do join that saying it was not a day for that because it was actually the blue and yellow that was important.
Yeah, man, true blue.
But I raise that aspect of it because you see the poor people of Portland are Portlanders. Gonna extend it to the West as well.
Yeah.
And to say that is Portlanders over politics.
Thank you.
And where a country needs development and where you see rain falling, there are a lot of persons right now that are not in dry weather homes because since 1962, the Jamaica Labour Party has only built 11 houses in Portland Eastern.
Talk to me. Let the people know.
The rain is falling, and while I'm on this call, the messages are coming in, and my phone is saying, "You see it, ISAT?
Me I get
wet.
wet.
I need the zinc.
Me I
why
get wet.
need the help. I go down to the MP office, and them not helping.
No, if you're not GLP, you can't get no help.
Well, that's it. Portland is for Portlanders. Remove the politics. Vote for your life. Vote for your future of your kids, your family. Because at the end of the day, we are one, you know.
Of course. I
don't play politics with life.
Yeah, yeah. I was reading some of the Constitution last night. And
yes,
as a Jamaican, you have the right to go live anywhere in Jamaica.
Yes.
It is a right. You have the right to freedom of speech. Your right to associate socially and politically and any kind of association. It's a right. But let me ask you, Isaac. Yes. I just said to my listeners and viewers a while ago that Portland don't have no economy. Dead. Why you
dead.
What are we? I'm not even gonna ask you. What are we going to do about that? Because we have to fix this.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you this. We are. If nobody haven't heard it yet, we are bringing the heat. We are resurrecting the economy by combining health, education, agriculture, and tourism. We branch that out to include entertainment, housing, and ensuring that people have access to resources.
Yes.
Don't take it lightly. When our leader of opposition and the next prime minister of this country was doing his budget speech, he said Portland twice. And you know why he said it twice? Because Portland is the first of everything. We have a banana wharf that needs to be resurrected.
Yes.
We have a port that needs to be resuscitated.
And let me help you tell them that we have a businessman ready to take over Bournebrook Wharf and start doing business there.
Yes.
So people, we are going to move this parish. We are going to move it and make the economy start grow. Now, Isaac,
yes,
I know education is your baby. And it's something that we have to really ensure that our children get the best. What are the future plans that we're looking at for education in this parish?
I'm glad you asked that. And you know I started already. Following yesterday, we are now at 1,500 tablets.
Given out already.
My target was 3,000. I'm at half of that. And believe me, with the help of the diaspora, the leader of opposition, Dr. Anthony Hartney, yourself, Natalie, the team, we have begged, bought, and received donations for tablets for the children.
I call Christopher Campbell name.
Labor rights or PNP, it is for the children.
We have a
combined effort.
We have to call Christopher Campbell name because Christopher is a ardent follower of this program.
Boss. Thank you.
Yes.
Christopher has just recently donated more money so that tablets can get here.
Yes.
So
yes.
When I say and the diaspora at large, I have to do that. Geotech is a company that's also assisting, and I can tell you this. People have bought into education so much that yesterday, Jamaica National and VMBS, Victoria Mutual Building Society, have both partnered to ensure that accounts are open for the young men.
Beautiful.
And we're going on a whole school drive to ensure that the children are ready so that when Mark Golden is the next Prime Minister and the housing solutions need to happen, they have accounts ready to receive them $500,000 as a deposit for the home.
And to the people,
just know that.
To the people of Portland, we have already identified the lands that PNP are going to cut up when we win. So, on a joke thing, there's a young lady. In the chat room, Star Girl, who is calling you the Fresh Prince of Portland. They get a brand new name, Fresh Prince. Tell her.
I won't do a will. I won't tell nobody to get anyway. Let me leave that one alone. But I want to say this though. In terms of education, tomorrow I'm doing a lecture at K.
Yes.
On the human rights and the Constitution.
Beautiful.
As a part of their series.
Say it again. What you doing tomorrow?
A lecture at Case, the Case, Agricultural College.
Yeah, man.
And I'm doing that on human rights. And the importance of this is, I just ironically saw the Prime Minister saying that he has now admitted that Jamaica won't become a republic. We told him this about 3 years ago. Just understand this. And he's blaming Mark.
Yeah, I hear the hypocrisy. I heard the hypocrisy coming out of the Prime Minister. The PNP tell them from day one, if you're not bringing the Privy Council as a part of the deal, we're not playing.
It's not happening.
So you are blame we know.
I raised that to say we are at a time. The election is also that important. It is actually a constitutional election.
Yes.
And the people need to try to have the conversations. That's why I was so overjoyed when I hear you talking about freedom of association, freedom of expression, speech, right to liberty and life.
Yes. Yes.
And a part of that includes that you must live a particular life, a human standard that affords human dignity. And we need to get there for all the people of Portland, and we must lead by example.
And as Jamaicans, you must be treated fairly.
Fairly.
You have a right
equality. Thank you.
To that kind of treatment.
So just to conclude that though, Case University needs to be transformed to a university. And it needs to be so that people can go there and get the same type of education they would have gotten at the University of the West Indies.
Yes.
So that the university and Case can actually partner and we integrate the Caribbean, because agriculture is the only thing that is going to afford us food security.
Sister Tanya on Caribbean Radio HD is endorsing the Fresh Prince of Portland.
Amen.
Well, I tell you, Isaac, I want it to be called the College of Agricultural Science. No, sorry, the University of Agricultural Science and Education. So
that is it.
we're going
We're
for
giving it the university status with the type of accreditation that will allow persons to get those bachelors and masters right up to doctorate
up to a
right
PhD.
here in Portland.
Of
And
course.
for across the Caribbean.
We've been talking
Bringing the
about
Caribbean
it.
to us because that will also boost the economy.
Yes.
Because university students require housing and they require the use of the shops, the supermarkets, the bars, the restaurants, and that is what we should be doing. Finding ways to re-energize the economy, resuscitate the economy by having Jamaicans come to Portland and see how it is, why this place is a paradise, and why they're trying to steal all the land.
So, and because they know what's going to happen.
Exactly.
And they know that is not them going to do it. So what they are doing, they are positioning themselves to sell back your land, where them a grab and a rob, and them a plan to sell it back to the government.
We
have to be careful.
They're aware of it, man. They're grabbing now for that particular reason. But I can tell you this. The very Constitution and the very laws of Jamaica, they're going to be so surprised. Specific performance is a tool in law that can change the dynamics of any contract.
As a lawyer, tell me this, because when I talk sometime, one man in 2016, when they got the report on Cornwall Regional, and they get the views, I said, lick down the hospital and build it back. One labor right man was pleased to tell me, say, me I'm not engineer. Now him apologizing because him seed come to roost. So I want to ask you as a lawyer, I heard Dr. Wheatley, and I heard other labor rights say it, that the parliament is the biggest court in the land. Please, counsel, speak to my listeners about that. Tell them if nothing goes so. The parliament is the biggest court.
I'm going to tell you, in fact, it's quite the opposite. That is the error that the entire Jamaica Labour Party is built on. Let me tell you something. In England, the parliament is the done of all done. They do not have a written constitution. It is the reverse in Jamaica. Although we have a Westminster system, we have what is known as the doctrine of separations of power, where the constitution is the done of all done.
Talk to the people.
The biggest court in this land, as you all know, and where the controversy lies, is the Privy Council that's not in this land.
Right.
So the very next thing is the Court of Appeal and the Supreme Court.
Yes.
The Parliament simply have a whole bunch of lawmakers, and as you can see, we're suffering from a serious intellectual deficiency by the cadre of parliamentarians.
Yeah,
I'll just leave it at that.
It is
so to
lacking.
say it is the biggest court in the land is completely nonsense.
Rubbish.
If they make a law and the law is rubbish, the Constitution will throw it out like it did with NIDS, and will overturn their 17 judgments and 17 breaches that has occurred in the last 9 years that they have called themselves government. Serial breaches of the Constitution.
Our members of parliament, listeners, they are lawmakers. They are legislatures. They make the law. But it is the courts that interpret the laws.
That is so.
Now, how do you feel as a legal mind to have a government that constantly breaches the Constitution?
How do I feel?
Yeah.
Well, I tell you this, I make no apologies about this. I feel that they're constitutionally incompetent. I know this because I am a part of the legal team that stopped the state of emergency when the Prime Minister was big and bad and doing it, and then can't call it because it's unconstitutional. That's one. I took them to court for the Rasta case, Kensington Primary, about the access to education and freedom of expression, and they lost there. So it's a constant theme with them in terms of how it is. And as you know, the Vibes Cartel case, the breach of due process, the same thing. Government, when it comes to governance and when it comes to how they understand the law, how they march along, they don't understand it. So as a legal mind, that's one of the reasons why I am also entered the political arena, because as I said, Jamaica is at a crossroads to which the constitutionality, the transformation to a republic is the eventual step for Jamaica, and it cannot be done in the hands of the Jamaica Labour Party. They're simply
incompetent
and uneducated in the constitution to be doing it.
I'm not going to keep you much longer, but before you go, vote buying is an illegal activity in Jamaica. But we have never heard anybody really been prosecuted for it. I am telling you that it is prevalent in East Portland, in Portland. What are your views on vote buying and how you think the law, the police should go about this?
And here's my response to this. Integrity is doing the right thing even when nobody is watching.
Yes.
It's a self-check mechanism. I can only repeat the words of Michael Manley to say, we are not for sale. Your vote should not be sold even when somebody is attempting to buy it. And remember, the court does protect anybody that presents an illegal contract to you. So if they're giving you money, you have all rights to take it, and the court will assist you if they're trying to take it back from you.
I hear you. No, finally.
Can I take it one step further? So say, take it and bring it, come give me. But yeah, go ahead.
Finally,
I will defend you in the court.
We know that the election is constitutionally due by September. We heard the Minister of Legal and Constitutional Affairs come on and give a lesson about how it can be extended to December. But whenever it is, people are saying that in Portland, there's a whole heap of money that will be thrown around. How you plan to win this election, without telling us the inner secrets?
No, I'm going to win the election because I know that the people of Portland are not idiots. So any free money that they want, that the other side wants to give out, they're free to do so. Because if they had indication of that, they can recall what happened in St. Thomas and what happened in Anton.
Yes.
Spend all the money that they want to spend right now, because one of the reasons why vote buying is prevalent is because the people have been suffering for the last 9 years.
Yes.
But they've also figured out that they're not going to be a part of rewarding people for the type of dishonesty so that they can be neglected and disenfranchised. Right now in Portland, they will be asking people to vote for them, but they have taken and put up no trespassing sign at Fair Prospect. They have gone up to Norwich Heights and sold the land that is allocated for community centers and recreational areas.
Talk to me.
They have repeated that in Sanko Beach. They have taken the income of the rafters at Blue Lagoon. These people are your brothers and sisters, and if they can do it to them,
they're
going to do it to you.
Talk to me.
And I am here as an attorney to defend the rights of the people and make sure that you actually have land to build houses on.
Yes.
All the empty promises. Look at it. They announced that the Factories Corporation of Jamaica, funded by NCB, is going to open Brownbrook.
And Berita.
Ask yourself.
Hold on, not just NCB and Berita.
And Berita. This is an indication.
And you're talking about Berita, who gave the Prime Minister a $50 million unsecured loan.
I'm raising that to say to the people of Portland that if you keep the trajectory going, you're going to wake up one day and there will be no market for you to walk into.
Well, you're going to wake up one day and it will be vast land, as they're trying to make it out already.
Well, what I will say is that the people of Portland are wise, and it is for that reason why Andrew Holness should call the election. But I can tell the people this: one of the reasons he cannot call this election is because he knows he's going to lose.
That's why he's afraid.
The people of Portland can look. The Minister of National Security was there. Matthew Samuda send water money. Agricultural minister send agricultural money. Desmond McKenzie is going to come here next week. All of them will be here trying to rally support because this is a stomping ground for disenfranchisement of the people, my people, Jamaican people. And that is why I'm here. So I represent the hope and the change and the ensuring that the people of Portland keep their land and keep the prospects and opportunity for the next generation that their parents left for them. Yeah, whether it be through adverse possession, whether it be through settling on land for years that not even the government can take it from them. Yes. I'm here to make sure that people get title so they can use the land and have the type of dignity that they need.
So all of the people
in the middle of that, we're going to have entertainment and parties.
Hold on, before you go there, so
actually have fun.
Before you go there, so all of the people them will live on lands who don't have no papers for it. Isaac Buchanan will ensure that you don't get title for the land them want to live on. Clear Spring, Fear Hill,
Lower legal
Lower Wayne Road, Clear Spring, Fear Hill.
Tell them.
We have an MP that will ensure, because I know how to do it, that you will get title for your lands. Finally, are you ready to debate on Marivas?
I'm ready to. I'm ready to debate.
It's one thing I am telling you.
Listen to me. Let me make this clear. To make it fair, I am ready to debate any 10 of them.
Relax, because I know that me I tell you. Anybody who don't debate, anybody who refuse to debate, I am saying to the people right across Jamaica, because I believe you should have debate in every constituency. And any candidate who refuse to sit down and have a debate with the other candidate shouldn't get no vote. Shouldn't get no vote. And I am saying, this is my suggestion now. We have 5 divisions in East Portland. We should have 5 debates. Use a church hall. The 2 candidates must sit down face to face. You have a team of people. Ask them some questions. Each candidate must be allowed to ask at least one question to the other candidate. Yeah? And we hear our candidates sit down and articulate what they are going to do for us and how they angle themselves. Because if you can't represent yourself, you can't represent me. So me I tell you, Isaac Buchanan, if you refuse to debate Anne-Marie Rivers, no vote for you.
Well, you know, if that's the case, I count your vote from now.
And if Anne-Marie Rivers refuse to debate Isaac Buchanan, no vote for she. None at all. Transparency, accountability. We must hear what you're coming with. We not vote for nobody blindly or deafly or dumbly. We want to hear. My brother.
That is so.
My brother, we have many more for talk on this platform.
All right, thanks for having me, man.
Big up
you
yourself.
Must come over to, you must forward to context matters, you know.
Anytime you're ready.
All right, we're going to set that up. My respects, man.
Blessings, man. One love.
And blessings to your viewers. All right.
Comrade Isaac Buchanan, the PNP candidate for Eastern Portland. Oh, who that may have on the line? Hello? Hold on. Oh, who that may have on this phone here? Hey, Coco. Never know somebody there on this phone here. Oh. Depende. Hello? Hold on. Look like me lick him off. Him call right as Isaac come off. Hello, good evening. Oh, are you the pony? Right through the interview. My name is Colin Anthony Bell, Shaka Fame, and you're listening to the Colin Bell Show on Caribbean Radio HD. And I'm inviting all of you to check out my social media pages. Hold on, caller. Check me out on YouTube at Portland Spice TV at YouTube. Please go on, subscribe, like up with video them, click the notification button that whenever we are on, you get a link up. We are on TikTok. Colin Shaka Bella TikTok. Yes, caller, go ahead. Good evening.
Good evening, Mr. Bell.
Welcome to Caribbean Radio HD.
Why are you doing that to the lady, man? You don't hear Mr. Buchanan said he's not he's not gonna criticize anyone. Anyway.
That's all right, and that shows you the humility of my candidate.
Yes.
Yes.
All I have to say, you know, where I'm calling you all the way from the west.
Where? Westmoreland?
No, man, in Montego Bay.
Montego Bay. Why would not take down the people and billboard down Montego Bay?
Let me say this, man. You see, well, my vote is not in Montego Bay. My vote is in Eastern Hanover. And I texted on the program a while ago. I said, Mr. Buchanan, I am so proud of you and congratulations. I wish you were in Eastern Hanover. We'd have welcomed you there. We'd have glad to have a representative like you.
You have good candidate Hanover, man.
Yeah, yes, we have a good Eastern lady. Yes. However, you mentioned, I am so glad, I'm so proud of him.
Yes.
Of what he represents. Because, you know, I never been to a college, nor a high school. But I don't know. It is the grace of God that allowed me to be able to read and write.
But you know, too late for you going now?
No, I've been to a college in England after when I was up in the 50s.
Okay.
And I'm so proud of the People's National Party under Michael Mandy, which teaches me about education.
Yes.
Because we can't be a country if we can't educate our people. And I have seen elderly people, I won't say old people because I'm elderly myself, who have come out of Jamal and make themselves become somebody when they couldn't even write their name.
Yes.
And so what Mr. Buchanan is portraying there in Eastern Portland is the way that every constituency should, every Jamaican should learn to read and write and should be able to make their own informed decision, to use their own initiatives.
Yeah, man, and to think critically.
Yes, critical thinking.
Yes.
And as he said, concepts matters. And I am so happy to hear him. You mentioned talking about this down the sign in Montego Bay. You know, I've met the mayor for one time. Before I get there, Portland, Eastern Portland, you must go out and choose. Now you have a choice, either to choose good or evil, because people cannot lean on just gaining wealth unscrupulously and call themselves a dignified representative in any part of Jamaica.
Talk to me.
You cannot go around taking things from people, trying to disenfranchise poor people. When you look at what they've done to the rafters at Rio, is it Rio?
No, man.
Brian,
at the Blue Lagoon and down a center.
Not Blue Lagoon, the first one where they cut up the people they raft.
Down a center.
No, man.
On a center?
In Portland, I think it's one of the where they do the rafting.
It's Blue Lagoon, man.
No, man. There is another place, man, where you cross over the big bridge where they do rafting, where they cut. I think it was my
Rio Grande.
Delano Sea, right? So them now pay no tax on
Rio Grande, no, man. They never mash up no raft for Rio Grande. The raft then get mashed up. The raft then get mashed up at Blue Lagoon.
Oh yeah, is Blue Lagoon and cut up the raft?
Yeah, man, and throw them up in the truck. And stop the raft.
Thank you for the correction.
Yeah, man.
You know, when you go around and disenfranchise people like that, poor people, where your children have to go to school, they have to feed their children from this.
Yeah.
How do you expect these people, and then you go out now and you tell these people to vote for you because you care for them and you care for their family?
Yeah, and then some of them people have voted for them, do you know? Some of them people go work for them. Yeah?
Why you think they vote for them, sir? Because of lack of education.
And that's why they keep the people them dunce.
fully done because you can. I have listened to some things. I don't think I want to take up all your program this evening, but let me say this. Let me touch a point on the way the flags, the taking down of the paraphernalia in Montego Bay.
Yeah.
I have met the mayor once, and I think he, as a young man, he was going to come up and be a change agent then. But, you know, there's a saying said, chip no fly far from the block.
No, not at all.
And he is showing me that he is just the same who in the old saying. And to know that, sir, as a tourist resort town, the town of Montego Bay stinks.
Like Port Antonio?
No, I don't think Port Antonio stinks like Montego Bay town.
Well, may I tell you, I've been talking about it for a couple of months, and I see the mayor take a team and walk through the town since I've been talking about it. And it look like them out to do something. I hope them not just do it because of election. But Port Antonio town is stink. It need to clean up.
So as Montego Bay, because when you walk across from that gully, you know, when I saw the news about the flags taking down, and I was in the town, I couldn't stomach my breath. And guess what? It is right into two places where food sell. Island Grill, KFC, and a whole lot of food places and Bay West.
And the place stink.
Trust me.
All right.
When you walk on some part on Harbour Street and some of the street between Strand Street, it stinks.
They're not doing no work, brother.
The garbage is all over the place.
They need to look what His Worship the Mayor Fitzroy Wilson is doing in Port Maria and Swaby is doing in Kingston and what is being done in Portmore. Look. But
yes, as a second city.
We'll take a next call, do we hear?
Yeah, as a second city. Just one more thing here.
Yeah.
He needs to take a picture out of Mayor Swaby and transform Montego Bay like what Mayor Swaby is doing.
All right.
These people come and promise you things from 2013. They promise the people a muck of water. And now they're coming back with the same promise. The people must be educated about these people and their false promise.
All
Keep
right,
on doing the good work, Sir Bell.
Blessings and thank you.
Yes, man. Blessings.
One love. 804-7072 305-654-7944. We're on Caribbean Radio Live. Sam, talk to me.
Yes, my brother.
Yeah, man. What I say?
Bro, every time I hear Mr. Buchanan speak, bro, it's a joy to listen to him.
Yes, man. Articulate.
It's a joy.
Knowledgeable.
Yeah, man. And he speaks from his heart.
Yes, man.
Right. I believe that the business people of Portland should organize funds and force both candidates to have the minimum of 3 debates.
Well, we say 5, and I'll tell you why I say 5. We have 5 parish council divisions in the constituency. And I believe that each area should get at least 1 debate that they can hear. They can come to a schoolroom or a church hall, sit down and watch the 2 candidates discuss matters that relates to them. Questions are asked that is related to them. But if you don't have 5, there must be a minimum of 2 debates in every constituency, not just East Portland.
I say 3.
Well,
you know why I say 3?
Yeah.
Right? 1, 2 withdraw. I want to break tie break.
Well, all right. If you said 3, you
but
it must happen.
I want a neutral moderator. I want 90% of the question come from the voters.
And if you're going to have 3, you see, if you're going to have 3, you could say, if each candidate can choose a moderator for one. And then you come by some other means to come up with the moderator for the third. You know?
No, I don't want no.
You know,
I just want
the
moderator.
Hold on, Sam. Hello, good evening. Welcome to Caribbean Radio HD.
Hello, good evening, Mr. Bell. Mr. Bell. Yeah, man, I would like to speak with you.
Go ahead, man.
Yeah, man. I'm calling you about pertaining to the whole security industry. Last, I needed to get on top of it. Last year, I noticed the Prime Minister stand up and announce the minimum wage.
Yeah.
And the security industry is supposed to get raised on the allowances. You have the firearm allowance, laundry allowance, and those allowances. And he don't say nothing about it.
Well, you see what...
I needed to speak to the Labour Minister about it.
You see what happened in the Parliament the other day with the Prime Minister? The Prime Minister was talking and realized that he need a connect. So the more him realize him now connect is the longer him talk and try bringing something. So even the $1,000 that he had to the minimum wage was just something that him pull out at because him now connect and him a try if he connect. That's why him talk for 5 hours plus.
Yes.
So it wasn't a planting because remember there is a committee that's supposed to deal with the minimum wage, you know.
Yes.
Yeah, man. Hold on, hold on the caller. Yeah, we're going to try. Hold on. Caribbean Radio HD. Good evening. 305-654-7944. Yes, sir.
Why the people in the gully era? Why they keep dumping the garbage in the gully?
You see, it's something that we have to enforce the law because we have little laws in Jamaica, you know, but they are not being enforced. And one of the things is that our garbage collection is not where it ought to be as well. But that also don't give reasons for people to throw garbage in the gullies. Because by now we should be learning that if we continue to throw plastic and the garbage in the gullies, what it going to cause is flooding and devastation.
Yes, that's what happened. Yeah, but in Kingston it happened. It's happening in Portmore. All the gully them. The people dump the garbage in the gully and flood the place.
Yes. Yes. So
they have some behavior when all right.
I think we need to do some public education drive on this.
They need to have some police. Everybody from police each other.
Yeah.
Neighborhood watch.
Yes.
Neighborhood watch. They need to start it up back. See your report. I want to see a
good
man.
evening. Good evening, Ilian.
You're charging and finding.
Yes. Yeah, man.
And the garbage would be less.
All right, my brother. Give thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Mm-hmm. Who we going back to now? Hello? Yes, sir. Caribbean Radio HD, good evening. Hello, good evening. Hello, good evening. Caribbean Radio, good evening.
Hello?
Yes, sir, good evening. We're hearing you. Seems like him don't want to talk. Hello, good evening. All right. Sam.
Yeah, man.
We're back with you.
Yeah. Last night, you noticed that the Minister of Finance did not turn up for our debate
I saw an article on social media that she's saying that she did not tell anybody that she was going to be there and she didn't give any permission for her picture to be used. Now, it is on social media, so I don't know if that was coming from her. But
hold on. But hold on. So the general secretary of his party turned up, right?
Yeah.
And I know the mainstream media would make the approach to the channel, the right channel, right? And for the mere fact the general secretary turned up, he can't, she never know about it.
Well, me never said it. Something says she never know, she says she never can give consent.
Well, you have to tell me know why. Me bet one of my friends that she's not going to turn up.
So what go?
You know why I know she's not going to turn up?
Yeah.
If you listen on all angles, what Mr. Chang was saying, right? You know that she's not going to know one-on-one debate.
Hey,
right?
Kuya.
Right?
Tell her.
Right?
Where you say she not going to debate Julian Robinson?
She's not going to debate.
Tell her.
Then, hold on. If she runs from Patricia Duncan, right? Then she'll be a Julian Robinson.
Fix up my clothes. Are you saying to me, Sam, that the Minister of Finance, when the election is called, will not debate Julian Robinson?
She will not debate Julian Robinson by herself.
Louise, good evening.
Then, well, I'm not. Mr. Chang almost said now.
Tell Sam good evening.
Mr. Chang almost said.
Sam, give somebody else a chance. You're too wicked. Or you mean favor now go turn up for debate?
All right, what about your longer debate? Watch back your longer debate, my brother.
Me and you have a bet. Me and you have a bet. Me and you have a bet. Because me a bet you say she a turn up.
I'm your bet you say she not turn up.
All right, we'll see. Blessings, Sam. Have a good evening.
Yeah, man.
876-804-7072. 305-654-7944. Caribbean Radio HD. And please like up my YouTube channel. I'm asking all the listeners to check out my YouTube channel. It's Portland Spice TV at YouTube. PROTLANDSPICE TV at YouTube. Good evening, Caribbean Radio.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon. This is Party Flat calling out of the hills of Kenton.
Rastafari. Yes. Talk to me.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. I get a little thing more day. Yesterday, I'm home and I go to the road there and say, you all right, I'm give you some bun and cheese. You know?
I'm give you bun and cheese. I Easter, man.
Yes, I'm give you bun and cheese. As a blind man, I say, me forward, me can get one bun and cheese, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. You see, me good on there. Me good on there.
Hold on, man. You have to turn. Hold on. Turn off the thing in the background where you listen, pan.
Yeah, me turn it off. Because
if you listen that, you'll get distracted. The delay is massive. Go ahead.
Yeah. So when I go down there, the data say, she carry down there. So when I go down there now, I say, Miss, me can't get on a bun and cheese. She say, me nah get nothing from them, so they nah give me nothing cause. Normally in a Christmas, they always say, no, one liquor bag with liquor, flour, sugar, rice, you know, and then give me. So, you know, I say, but me not talk that. Me remember me go to Xavier me in office and me tell the man, say, me I beg him if he can help me with one kitchen, beg him some material to make one kitchen because I'm a veranda, me take turn kitchen.
Yeah.
The man take my name and number saying we call me. So me say that me I talk about because in a election gone they come up this so and them ask say if I can me can vote for them. Me say look at me now vote for no because me beg him man some material to make the kitchen and the man take my name and number. You know. So she said me say me not get nothing from them. You know say they not get a bun and cheese. Yeah, right, they not going to do no green bun or no green cheese. Understand?
They not give you none. Food.
They not give you none.
Food them I use spite people. All right.
Understand?
All right, my brother. Stay strong.
Yeah, man.
Change is coming here.
Yeah, man. You mean?
Respect. Change is coming. Somebody else a chance. 804-7072. You can call me straight or you can call me on WhatsApp. If you're overseas listening on Caribbean Radio HD, call us on 305-654-7944. Yes, man. Christopher Campbell say, the man who can't only see the tip of his nose can't see when we ever come. And that's why I tell them what they need to do because I know that they have a myopic view of life. They are blind. Talk to me, caller.
Yeah, yes, Mr. Bell. I'm here again. They get cut off. I'm really call about the whole security industry.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So we need a very talk to the Labour Minister for us. Because last year we never get no raise and we firearm allowance, laundry allowance, and K9 allowance.
Yeah.
And without the government do it, the company they're not gonna give us anything.
If the government not say something, them nah do nothing.
No, do nothing.
All right, my brother. We're gonna work on
Yeah,
it. Yeah,
either the city, yeah, man, the Labour Minister, the person from the opposition.
All right, no problem. We can talk.
Yeah,
to
I
them
listen for your follow up on it for me.
I will. Yeah.
All right, yeah.
Cool. 876-804-7072. Talk to me.
Yes, Mr. Carl.
Blessings, man. Welcome to the show.
Oh, go on.
We're there, man. We're there. I keep the fire burning. Educating the people. Yes. Talk to me. What you want to talk about?
Yeah, I suggest something where we have to go back to,
Talk to me.
Yeah, I like back the community center them,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, community center them, and where every 6 months they need the MP and the councillors them to go in a community like center and talk.
Of community meetings.
Yeah, have community meeting, man.
Yes, man. So people can make them growls be heard and they can be addressed by the representatives. Yes.
And you are going in the community.
Talk to me.
Yeah, man, because the community want to clean up bad enough.
Yes, man.
Sidewalk and fix and the water for all fridge and them the sidewalk and something like.
Yes, and get back to our culture.
Yeah, man. Only for them things not go on.
Yeah, we'll lose our way.
Yeah, so we need to bring back the community to get the young youth, them and everybody back in the community center, participate, and any little issues you have, you meet at the community center and speak
and
with
deal with it. Yes.
MP and your councillors.
Yes. Brilliant.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
Yeah, so we need to get people to organize, bring back the community center and get people to organize the thing.
Yes, man.
Yeah.
Man.
Because it's time them things that break down and people get uncaring and lawless and all of them things there.
And the community stop raising the child.
Yeah.
So we need to get back to that stage, my brother. Brilliant.
Yeah, man. Of course, man. We need to go back there, sir.
All right, sir. Big up yourself.
All right. Cool.
Yeah, man. Sister Donnet in the UK, how you doing? Bless up yourself. Sister Tanya in the chat room. Sister Louise. Telsa. Yes, man. Bless up on yourself in the chat room at Caribbean Radio HD. You see, we are looking far. We're not just looking for ourselves. Because in this judgment, we have to look out for those who can't see and for those who can't look out for themselves. So when the people who have no vision but they know that something needs to be done, come up with an idea to do something because just to do something, we have to show them what the better alternative is. And don't curse us. If you think you have an argument, give us a call on 876-804-7072 and don't attack Shaka Fame. Attack my argument. The fact that you can't attack my argument, you try to attack me. Talk to me, caller. Welcome.
Yeah, well, I ask you when you go invite the next PM on your program.
You mean Mark Golden?
I'm seeing one man.
Soon. Look for him sometime this month.
Yeah, because we need to have some talk with him, you know.
All right. Like when you get a talk already, let me give somebody else a talk, yeah?
All right.
Blessings. Good evening and welcome to Caribbean Radio HD.
Evening, Colin.
Hey, Wagwan Marshy.
Me there.
Welcome. Bless up.
Me have something against your parents, though.
How will you have against my parents? Yeah?
Mainly your father.
Oh.
All right, don't say it. Don't say it.
Hold on. I know me alone, you know. There's a counselor that got sent on.
Senton.
Yes.
Me ever take them on a newscast last night.
What's it? Yes, man. Talk to me.
Yes, Colin. Concerning the integrity thing, I did not tell you earlier about Brian Winter.
Yes.
You get any clarification?
Yeah, man. Hector Winter is Brian's father.
Okay. No, because I know that. I was big boy in the JLP. He was senator one at the time to have
exactly.
a position.
But you see, the GLP just constantly shows up their hypocrisy. And they behave like them have a right to do anything. And nobody else can do the same thing. You understand? They behave like they own Jamaica. If you not say GLP, they want to victimize you. They discriminate against you. They want to destroy you because you not say GLP.
May I use a word? I don't know if they have any copyright put out on it, right? But may I use it? This is the Andrew Wellness Administration. No. Don't tell the lie for me.
Administry. Oh, the lady is the lady of a Portmore, no? Or
yes.
She might pay 10 T already, you know, brother. Mine have to pay royalties, you know.
That's how we talk about. Well, all right. All of my work, I be good enough. I go without me be good enough.
Hold on. The heights by great men reach and kept.
Well, that's what I mean. I come down there, say you know, man.
Go down there.
Listen me now. Say I recite it. Say I recite it.
Yes.
Right? And you make a mistake, it's one thing. But when you read it, man, Jesus, man. Do man read the thing on a paper. So she can't read, she can't talk. Oh my God.
Tell her.
Why you want the woman to debate with Aisha?
No, but hold on now, Marsh. It's not about she. It's not just about East Portland or Portland. I am of the opinion that there should be local debates. You go have the national debates with prospective cabinet minister against cabinet ministers. But we are voting for our members of parliament. And they ought to be debating every constituency.
Well, in agreement with what you said, we must remember that all politics is local.
That's why me talk about you must go in at the division. Like East Portland, we have 5 divisions. So they must go into Mansion Hill and the two of them do a debate. They must come to Fair Hill, they do a debate. They must come to Prospect and do a debate. They must go to Fellowship and do a debate. They must go to Port Antonio and do a debate. Let the chips fall where they may. May the best man win. The people must hear from your representative, and then you must be able to choose and say, yes, them sound good. Them sound good under cross-questioning. Because anybody can go up on a platform and tell you one bag of garbage. Cross-questioning when somebody is asking you a question and there can be a follow-up to the question. So you know, just come and write on a piece of paper and tell you where somebody tell you if you say. You must be able to articulate your position. You must be able to articulate a vision for the people that you want to represent. Time come for transparency.
When you preach like that now, when you did night church now, you preach that way, then you say, Rabba, shut up.
Tell her.
But I go and give the JLP some credit.
Yes.
Because they have the skill of getting some people who can chat nonsense, you know, man. They're brilliant, you know.
It's an art. It's an art.
Yes.
Or is that science?
Jesus. Now give them some credit. But don't, let me tell you, take it easy with Anne-Marie. Take it easy.
It's not about any personality.
No,
it is about, because you see, even right down here in East Portland, they want to build an urban center. And I am of the opinion that the urban center can wait. It's not going to bring no new money to Portland. We need the development of the East Harbor, that we can accommodate the mega line cruise ships that will bring new money to the parish. Then when you do that, then you can build the urban center, because people will start earning money now to spend. The people don't have no money in Portland to spend, brother. I live here, I tell you. The economy dead. Nothing. Nothing.
But listen, Shaka. They're boasting about the economy and what they do good. And a certain man says something I mean, hear none of them take on the man.
What's that?
Omar Azad. Big businessman in this country.
What him say?
And him come out and him tell them that the economy no good.
And the worst him ever see it.
That's the worst him ever see it.
But
I mean, what you say, none of them not take him on.
But Marsh, the Prime Minister and the Finance Minister are walking around and lying to this nation that the economy is doing well. What determines if the economy is doing well? It is the numbers. Yes. So let's look at the growth of the economy for 2024. In the first quarter, the economy grew by 1%. In the second quarter, the economy grew by 0.8%, less than a percent. In the third quarter, the economy declined by 3.8%. And in the fourth quarter, the economy declined by 0.8%. How then you look upon people and tell them the economy is doing well? We have a steady economy, a stable economy. What kind of lie?
And the economy is not in recession. And the economy is not in recession.
And the economy is in a recession. And you go up on stage and skin up your face about people that tell lie. While you are lying.
No, man. These people really, really sick. These people really, really sick. And, you know, they just take the rest of the people to fool.
Oh, God.
But let me tell you something, you know. I would have liked Andrew Williams and Feelbad Williams. Go in a supermarket and a market when people are shopping and tell them how good the economy is.
Oh, you hear the question that George Davis asked Dayton Campbell last night?
You know, I never get it. I know
there was a question.
I know them did the somewhere talk. Well, I know them in the somewhere talk. And Favor say, excuse me.
No, Favor never turn up.
He never said, I just turn up, she never turn up. Me think an excuse, she said.
You think you're easy, man?
Where you tell me, say, who teach her to run? Merlin Hattie or Shelly and one of them, but she can't really run.
Somebody say, a Juliet Cuthbert teach her how to run.
Oh, yes. But they must remember, say, Juliet Cuthbert know about second, you know.
Well, yes, she's a second. She's a second place. And a third place. Second and third place runner. Yes.
So that means she must be coward going up against John Gordon Wedley.
She might come second.
Yes, but go get her second. She'll get second and challenge it.
All right.
Well, Marsh, keep on doing what you're doing here, sir.
If you never hear the question last night, I'm going to play it for you right now. Listen.
Yes,
I'm up and listen to this. Because a question was asked last night by George Davis to Dayton Campbell. Listen this.
Who the voter wants.
Hold on, caller.
Why is your leader the better one? He's the only one that's certified.
You hear the question? George Davis asked Dayton Campbell why the PNP leader is the better leader. And a short part of the answer, there's more to the answer, but the short part Dayton Campbell gave him is that he's the only leader that is certified. Because in Jamaica, there's a law that says all parliamentarian statutory filing ought to be certified by the Integrity Commission. For the leader, for the Prime Minister and the leader of opposition, hold on, caller. Whenever they are certified, a summary of the filing must be made public. For 3 years, we have not seen a summary of Andrew Holness's statutory filing, but we have seen Mark Colin. Caller, good evening and welcome.
I'm wondering why Chang never answered that question last night, never rebutted.
I think there must be
answer that question last night, never rebutted.
I think there must be a point where Chang answer, but I don't, because all the videos that I've seen is just from Dayton Campbell answering. I've not seen Dr. Chang answer any question at all. So there must be those videos somewhere, but maybe through me in the circle, to get them video there, but I got the videos of Dayton Campbell's answer. And Dayton Campbell sound like he did a job on Dr. Chang. I want to hear Dr. Chang answers too.
Yeah, and then again, you're wicked. He's a wicked man too.
Me?
You see them up there. Yeah, man, you see them up there in a chat about oh, you're so wicked to the poor woman, man.
What are you talking about?
Why you no, hold on a minute.
No, but hold on a little bit. Hold on a little bit. Isaac Buchanan. No. Let's be fair. Hold on, man. Calm down.
No, you're so wicked.
No, calm down. No, man. No. Let's be fair. Tell her. Let's be fair. Hold on. Hold on, man. Hold on. Carla, stop the man.
I'm sorry.
Hold on.
I'm sorry, but I'm sorry. I can't help it.
Hold on. Let me tell you this. Isaac Buchanan is a political neophyte. Meaning Isaac Buchanan is a political idiot. The MP for East Portland have been MP for about 6 years now. She have whole heap of experience in her politics. Isaac Buchanan have no experience in her politics. Isaac Buchanan just come in her politics. So if anybody should be sorry for, it should be Isaac Buchanan. Don't I tell me, say?
Damn. Okay.
Anybody you're going to be sorry for, it must be Isaac. Isaac never even saw an election run yet. He never participated.
But what I need to understand.
Yeah.
Based on our status right now, because I'm watching her, and I mean, like, based on our status,
yeah,
she don't have it, Virgin for Buchanan, bro.
No, what do you mean she don't have it? She's the MP.
She's like a little puppy.
No, man,
sucking from mommy's milk.
No. She will tell you. You know what I heard she said the other day? It's 4 people, it's 4 man the PNP send and me deal with them. Them send the goat man, them send the bishop, them send one with little fame, and them send one rasta where if you use maps for go around Portland. That's what she said.
Okay.
That's what she said.
Okay.
So she
bold
must,
then, man.
Yeah, how you mean? Then she must defend herself. She can defend.
Okay, good.
She can defend herself. Now take her simple. I am saying that if you're going to run for office of member of parliament, you should sit down with your opponent in a debate, a structured debate, answer questions, give rebuttals, and you must ask your opponent 1 or 2 questions, and your opponent must ask you 1 or 2. The people need to have this information, my brother. And it's not just in East Portland. It's right across Jamaica.
Okay, put Fernand joke aside. I'm going to ask you this, okay? I'm going to ask you this.
Yeah.
If you was a member of her party,
yeah,
what would she have? How would you think she would all right, how should I put this? What would she base her substance on?
I don't know.
For how many years? For the 9 years now.
No, she been in power since 2019, so call it 6 years.
Okay. For 6 years.
Yeah.
What would you, as if you were into our say you're a part of her colleagues.
A part of her team.
What would you look on her for based on her status in Portland, her substance, so to speak, where you know that you don't have to worry yourself because you know what she has sit down pan, so she good.
Then look, you see her on social media every day doing what she do. Talk about it. Talk about what you do. You say you do a lot, and they said that Portland was.
But I'm not hearing nothing. I'm not hearing nothing that she says she do. I'm not hearing nothing.
No, but me not gonna give no advice. I am not going to give any advice. Them no want advice from me because they are about to do. They want to do a urban center in Bournebrook, and I am saying to them, the urban center is not what we need right now. We need the East Harbour development that will bring new money, and them start cuss me out. Them are cuss me, say me bad mind, figure them ideas. They don't have no ideas.
Oh my God.
And I took it upon myself to give them an idea and say, listen, it's not the urban center is the thing. What we need is the East Harbor. We start get that kind of cruise ship coming into Portland, then you can build an urban center because the people would start earn money. No money is being made in Portland. The economy in Portland is dead, flat, nothing happening. Brain drain. People are leaving because you can't really get no good job. And I'm saying to them, just look at what the peer that the PNP bill in Falmouth, look at what it is doing to Trelawney right now, to Falmouth. You see housing schemes going up right around Falmouth, new jobs coming to Falmouth every day. We want the same in Port Antonio. The urban center will not do that. Yeah?
Right.
So, me not going to tell you nothing when me tell them because next thing they're going to cuss me out again.
Okay, the next thing again now. I don't think Favor, what's his name? The
finance minister.
The finance minister.
Yeah.
I don't think she don't come last night, right?
No, she didn't forward. The young people, they would have said she didn't forward. They would have said, burn up or you just a little while. Burn up.
Well, all right, but she didn't go last night.
No, she never.
It seems like a cartel. This would be like a cartel and Movado clash at stage.
There's a no show. All right, my brother.
Yes.
All right, party. Give thanks here.
Okay, man.
Yeah, man. Mystical is speaking. Mystical.
Oh, Colin Bell. Colin Bell. How are you, sir?
My day here now.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes,
welcome. You and listeners. Yeah. No, two points I wish to exercise.
Talk to me. Yeah.
Listen to me now. Tell me, in a so-called democracy, yeah, I posit that responsibility and accountability are the two central pillars of governance, yeah,
yes,
and administration, right?
Yes.
No, so the question I ask, if that be so, what would be the relevance of political representatives? What would be the relevance of a prime minister and, by extension, political representatives?
If you take no responsibility for anything.
And they are accountable to whom?
And they are accountable to the people.
But are they accountable to the people and are they responsible for the people?
They are both responsible for the people. Well, let me put it this way. They should be responsible for the people and they should be accountable to the people.
Yeah. Well, you understand the reason I would have proffered that those two.
I think I do.
Question, rather.
I think I do.
Yes. Because, you see, we're on our own. We're on our own. We're left to the mercy of the environment, and we are left to the mercy of dogs and the mercy of you know. Yeah. So the bigger point, is that you see political representatives, parliamentarians.
Yeah.
What is their chief responsibility? You may say I've asked the question already, but I have not.
One of their chief responsibilities is to be a legislature. So they are the ones.
So their chief responsibility is
the laws.
The members of the legislature, right?
Yes.
So they are legislatures.
Yes.
Primarily, that's what they're there for.
Yes.
To make laws. So why do we think that they should be accountable to us and responsible to us?
Because
in a social and economic way.
Well, because they are also to do that because some of the laws include financial stuff to ensure that the country is run properly as it relates to our economy. It runs as it relates to growing the economy and making sure that we live in line with the Constitution, that people's rights are not breached and people have access to the things that they have a right to have access to, education, health, all of these kind of things.
Well said, sir. Well said. You're indeed a teacher. So I ask another question. So when we would have examined all of that, are they relevant to us?
Well, the set that
what is the relevance of the prime minister? What is the relevance of the parliamentarians?
The set that we have now is not relevant.
Against the background against the background of responding to our social and our economic needs. And social including health, education, housing, water, road, so forth and so on. Yeah.
I would say that the set that we have now has lost their relevance. They have not been able to they have not been able to provide the kind of amenities that we need. They have not been able to maintain our infrastructure. So we have poor infrastructure to include our health sector that has been run down, that we have a right to good health care. Our education system has been failing. Only 18% of our students are passing 5 or more CXC at one go. So a lot of things have gone down to the dogs, and therefore this set of representatives that we have now have lost their relevance. We hear the Prime Minister now blaming, hold on, let me just finish. We hear the Prime Minister now blaming Mark Golding for the failure of constitutional reform. He's not taking any responsibility for the failure of the constitutional reform that they have attempted, even after they were told that if you're not going to bring in the Privy Council as a part of the thing, we're not going to work with it. They still went ahead, force it, because they are a set of bully government trying to get to a dictatorship. Well, they lost the plot.
All right, so they are justifying their irrelevance, okay?
That's what I'm talking about, yes.
All right, sir. Look at this now, Colin. You talk about the $4 billion that have been earmarked to develop a town center. How many acres of land that is?
It's not even half of what you have in St. Thomas. And I'm not sure about the acreage, but it's a small area, not a big area.
Yeah, I know Boundbrook should be a small place. As a small boy, I used to go there for social activity. And listen,
it's right where the gloves factory used to be.
4 billion. No, we're talking about $4 billion. That's a lot of money now.
Of course.
10 years ago, 20 years ago, and now. Tell me the value that $4 billion. All right. First of all, ask the question: what is the value? Of $4 billion being placed in some concrete.
Hold on. Let me just big up the people on Caribbean Radio HD. It's been a pleasure being with you this evening. Want to thank all the people in the chat room. Servant David, big up yourself, because you are the one, Servant David, doing my leg at the Teleton. Thank you very much. Sister Melrose from Mobile, thank you very much. And of course, please, listeners to Caribbean Radio, make certain to put in something for me at the Teleton, all right? You love the Colin Bell Show? Make my contribution to the Teleton, please. And for those of you who have not yet checked out my social media angle, please come over to YouTube, Portland Spice TV at YouTube. Subscribe to my channel, and from time to time you can check me out. We're also on TikTok at Colin Shaka Bell at TikTok. Thanks everybody on Caribbean Radio. Big up on yourself. Bro Gary, one love, my brother. Blessings. We continue. Go ahead, Mystical.
Yeah, $4 billion spent in unproductive concrete structures, right? What value is that? What meaningful value is that to us?
And that's the
as
question.
The people.
That's what I try to point out to them in a Mystical. And instead of trying to listen to what me I say and even question me upon it, them want to cuss me out. You understand
man, listen to them. Our value we add to this thing, We're not in the whole heap of admiration of a political party and the irrelevance. We're talking about the value that can awaken the potential of a place like Portland. And that may talk about $4 billion. What is the value and the multiplier effect that will absorb? Absorb me in the opportunities that will be available and shall be available. There's nothing.
It going just become a white elephant.
Added. Yeah. You know who that will benefit? Barita and NCB and all the moguls who will have a shop there and a shop here.
But I tell you something, Mystical.
What is the?
I'll show you something. It might not even benefit them, because I tell you what happened. Wilson called me Saturday morning. And Wilson said, Shaka, let me show you something. Because we have a new plaza in Boundbrook called the Bayshore Plaza. Bashko open a store.
Basco left, yeah.
They had to leave.
Listen to me, man. I know where you're going. They had to leave.
They had to leave.
And you're right.
The economy
You're right.
of Portland is not strong enough to maintain those kind of business.
Exactly.
And that's why even though I don't really sign on to certain kind of tourism, but I know that if we fix up the East Harbor and accommodate the mega liners, that will start moving the economy in Portland.
Thank you. Now you understand why I have adamantly and repeatedly, shoot down the one in St. Thomas. Because it is no difference. The proposal is no difference. It's about going to claiming vital spots and resources. Yeah? It is not intended to be productive, It is intended to add value to the financiers.
But that is the intention right now, Mystical. It will work right
now. To claim property.
You know, the only thing that can save...
And to prevent the acceleration and the expansion of the indigenous industry for our people. Yeah? You know, if you give me $4 billion and if I give you $4 billion now, what I could do in Portland to create a transformation that will revitalize this parish in such a diverse way.
Yes.
You know what that would do?
Yes.
You know how that could be spent, to lift the parish. We could spend it in places that are available now that need resuscitation and rehabilitation. The widespread effect it could have.
Of course. But, Mystical...
And that would add value.
These people...
It is stupid.
They know they're supposed to do something, but they don't know what to do. And they want to do the same thing everywhere. You know the only thing that might be able to save the one in St. Thomas? If you heard Anthony Hilton the other day talking about Kobe.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
and the development of Kobe.
That could affect it. That could affect it. But by itself, it will fall to the ground. It will not be profitable or meaningful to the people of St. Thomas.
Christopher, I'll call you back.
Do what?
But Mystical, I'm going to tell you something. Because I was in the US the other day. And one of the things I'm learning, a lot of the shopping malls are now designated to become dwellings,
All right.
Because the shopping mall, them...
No, if the people that build some...
people now go to shop again like that.
Norwich.
No, but even the schemes right now, expand Norwich. Even the schemes right now, unless you start driving the economy, people cannot afford it. Yes, we have some teachers and some nurses that will be able to afford it. But outside of that, the economy in Portland is dead. Nothing happening.
Brother.
And we have a man who said my MP for the last 18 years. And I've not been able
for them.
Not
look out for them well put for, brother. Them look out for them well put for. And the way that you do that is to deny me and you and our brothers and our sisters access to opportunities that we can rise. That the more they stay there is the more we descend and diminish. Yeah?
Yes, man.
And you get what I'm saying to you?
Right, that's a brother.
And it's a strategy.
Yeah.
They ascend and we descend.
Yes, man. They make a big amount and set them family for life. Create them empire on the backs of poor people.
Definitely. And time to come, when they would have acquired all the vital resources, you can't even walk in a port after a while unless you can show your pass,
you're the
like
man.
South Africa,
you're the man them start call it Vaseline already. What do you think that means?
Oh.
You don't think I just yap them a yap? What do you think that means?
When you are tagged, when you are tagged with this new ID system, you have to show that when you pass through like a Portland, brother. Who you be? Who you about? But I think we can run down and come hang off on beachfront and because there'll be none. Yeah? Have a good time. It's not going to happen. Because it will be so controlled against you. Find the interlands. Yeah?
You better
don't come on the shoreline.
Go up on the hillside.
Oh, you go back on the hillside.
Yeah,
We
man.
control it. So same thing them try to do Portland. Same thing a plan a sent them. Same thing a plan a sent me. Man, it's a plan, and if we don't wake up and smell the seafront, yeah, brother.
All right, brother. Big up yourself.
Bless up yourself, yeah?
Yeah, man. You see, I'm telling you something, people. You see, if you can't see it, you have to listen to people who are seeing it. Because some of these people who we claim say them are leaders, they are bleeders, not no leaders. Christopher.
Good evening, boss. How you doing?
Me there, man. Wagwan.
Hey, Colin, you ever in a class I do a mathematic equation and you get to the end, you realize it wrong and you crumple up the paper and you throw it in the basket, the waste basket.
And go start over.
That's what favor I have to do with our presentation the other day. Nothing that was said is relevant anymore. Do you understand the magnitude of what is happening in this country, the United States,
but look
and
here,
the global
Chris,
economy?
Chris, we spoke about it right here, we bring Ralston man, and we said to the people that what Favor present was not relevant. Because if you were presenting at that time and not looking at the global happenings, what is happening in the US where Trump has said and all of them things the way I come. If you need a look on that, you need to say nothing. See the whole thing a change in front of our face.
It changing minutely, hourly. So how are we going to react to what is happening here? I don't hear the Prime Minister, I don't hear the Finance Minister coming out in front and saying, hey, we have to adjust our projection based on so and so. 60% of economists in America.
Yeah, man.
60% of economists and CEOs, most of the CEOs think there will be a recession in America. And some of them think we are already in a recession.
It looks so.
So we know, and the reaction of China, the whole global economic order is upside down. Canada is heading for 1% growth.
Mm-hmm.
All the English economy, European economy, everybody's, if not slow growth, stagnated.
Hello.
And we have
Obi,
a
hold the
government.
line for me. Hold the line, Obi. Continue, Chris.
We have a government that is spending money out the wazoo, importing all kind of nonsense into the country that we cannot afford. At a time when we have a tsunami, there's a tsunami heading for Jamaica, for the whole region.
Because America
and
is
we
catching.
have no plan.
America
we have no plan.
America have a cold right now.
Oh.
And you know what they say? When America have a cold,
Jamaica catch pneumonia.
Okay.
So
we have to go back to the drawing board, and I hope to God that the people of Jamaica is listening and get rid of this government. The JLP, like the Republicans, love power, but they cannot govern. They don't know how, because they are a one pony outfit. They take care of the rich and hope that somebody trickle down to the poor.
Yes.
That's their whole thing. Take care of the rich and hope some of it fall on the poor head.
And trickle-down economy doesn't work, Chris. Trickle-down economy never work. Nothing don't grow from the top.
Beyond that, they cannot go into the minutia and understand the stuff that really drives economy. You build from the bottom up if you want to have a stable and lasting economy, not from the top down. It never works.
Can't work. All right, my brother. Enough respect.
Colin, I'm going to go back and listen to you. Thank
Blessings.
Resistance.
Conrad.
Several civil society groups and
Conrad.
stakeholders, including the
Obi.
opposition PNP. They say the
We hear nice in Obi background there. Obi?
Mr. Thompson says.
No, we can't take the nice the Obi in the background. We have over 700 people on the line right now. We are asking you to like up the video. Like and share up the video. We have Conrad O'Brien on the line, but I don't know if he put up on hold. Obi!
Yeah, man. Are you hearing me now?
Yeah, man. Turn off the thing in the background for me now.
Colin?
Yeah, man. Turn off whatever you have in the background playing.
Hello?
Yeah, man. We hear noise in your background. Go ahead, Obi. Talk to me.
Hello?
Yes, Obi. You're not hearing me?
I don't know what's happening there.
Obi, I am hearing you loud and clear.
I'm not hearing you at all.
I am hearing you loud and clear.
All right, let me try, Colin. Let me try and go ahead, but I'm not hearing. Colin?
I am hearing you loud and clear. Let me call you back.
Yeah, I'm not hearing you on the phone, Colin.
Hold on. Obi, you have to just turn off what you have in the background. Let me call you right back. See if we get a better line so we can hear Conrad O'Brien calling him on the other line so we can hear him loud and clear.
Hello?
Yeah, Conrad, you hearing me now? Obi?
Still not hearing you, but let me
All right,
try.
no, hold on. Let me fix that. Since you're not hearing me on that, let's link him up because Obi have some information for us. We want to talk a little bit about what is happening down there in Westmoreland. And of course, we haven't touched that from evening. There was a internal election in Westmoreland yesterday. Not yesterday, it was Sunday. But information, hold on, Obi, hold on. Information we are getting is that there is a one vote victory. And that to show the people that every vote counts. So, Mr. James, Councillor James, we hear that him go through by one vote and that Councillor James will be recommended to the candidate selection committee. We have Conrad on the line. Conrad, you hearing me now?
Yes, I'm hearing you now, Colin. I'm hearing you.
Go through now.
Good. Good afternoon, good evening to you and your viewers and your listeners, Colin.
Yeah.
Before I go off to the West-West situation, Western Westmoreland scenario, a news item has just been circulated where since today, where CAFE, that's the watchdog group, they are calling on the government to immediately reinstitute the office of the political ombudsman.
That is needed.
As a standalone body.
Yes.
Even on a temporary basis.
For the election season.
Underscoring the importance of that body now going into the general election. And from all accounts, Colin, we must support that call because we have seen the kind of scenario that are now brewing. Just today, I reported on air that there is a lawsuit that is brewing down there in
St. James.
Brewing now between the PNP and the JLP as it relates to what activity being taking place in Westmoreland by the mayor.
In St. James.
St. James, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
St. James. In removing the paraphernalia and so on, the billboards of the PNP.
Yes.
So, and on other utterances that we're seeing and hearing on the political platform, even Sunday night we saw and heard some very dastardly things coming out of the mouth of the president of the Senate, Tom Tavares, among other utterances that we're hearing,
Yes.
So we must support that call, Colin, for the reinstatement of the political ombudsman immediately.
And I like how Cafe put it. Let's do it for the political season. So even if there's no election in the year for that year, then fine, you could not have one. But right now, there is the need for a political ombudsman in Jamaica, somebody who is independent of the Electoral Commission. Before I go back to Obi, I want to just call to my people online. We have over 750 devices right now. To like the video won't cost you anything. Just touch on the thumbs up and like up the video. Please and thank you. Let's take this like to about 600 this evening. Obi, talk to me.
Indeed, Colin. So, that I thought it would be important for us to bring the listeners and viewers up to speed on that one.
Yes.
So now we can move to Western Westmoreland.
Oh, yes.
Again, breaking just a statement issued just about 25 minutes or so ago out of the sitting member of parliament of Western Westmoreland, Moreland Wilson.
Yeah.
He accused the candidate elect, as it were, by virtue of the 1 or 4 votes, as we get in the information, 1 or 4 votes, Mr. James, that of lying publicly on radio. He issued a very terse statement to say, listen, Mr. James is out there purloining all over the media space saying that he has spoken to him since the race, and Mr. Wilson is saying absolutely not. The man is lying, and he went further to say that that's a continuation of the lies that have permeated the entire campaign. So it seems as if there is a very, very bitter situation brewing right now down there in Western Westmoreland within the Jamaica Labour Party camp. Now, that seat was always going to be a difficult one for the Jamaica Labour Party. And based on what we're seeing, with a split down the middle, because even in good times, when you have an election that is so close, then certainly it's always difficult for the healing process.
Yeah.
So, it seems as if we this one is done and dusted for Ian Hills and the People's National Party. That has always been the thought process. However, with what is taking place in the Jamaica Labour Party, it seems as if that has been further consolidated.
Well, we watched that one, but I don't have too much interest in it, Obi. I am confident that all 3 seats in Westmoreland will return to the People's National Party.
So the important thing, Colin, and that is my summation as well. But the important thing, Colin, that I think should basically, strike all of us as Jamaicans and certainly us as watchers in the political space. The fact that there was an election held on Sunday,
yes,
and that result was basically held on to by the Secretariat of the Labour Party and issued.
Not was Obi. They have not released it.
Well, it's still not.
So they have held on to it. They're not releasing the result. What can go so?
Absolutely. And the fact of the matter, Colin, is that, I don't know that either the person who announced or the person who basically is defeated can feel any confidence, can have any confidence in the process. Because why would there be need for you to take the ballot, not even a preliminary announcement was made?
But the truth is, both sides would have known what happened, because that's how we get to a little thing. We hear say it's either one or 4 vote, because there was a count. There was a count on the day, and both parties would have had their people in there on the count, so they knew what happened.
Indeed.
But they are not telling the public why. What can go so?
Indeed, and it goes to show, the internal machination that is taking place within the Jamaica Labour Party.
But we know a long time that there's no unity in the Jamaica Labour Party. It's just because they're in government, they are trying to hold it together. We know a whole heap of things are tear away in the Labour Party. We saw some of it in the Parliament. Also, a certain minister was disrespected by another minister and by Warmington. We saw that in the Parliament.
Yeah, absolutely, Colin. But it goes further, and it speaks to honesty and transparency within the party. And remember now that there's already a cloud, not just over the party, but the whole government that is headed by Andrew Holness and led by the Jamaica Labour Party.
Yes.
So when you have these kind of situations, it doesn't make the trust factor any better. It basically, widen the trust deficit within the Labour Party and by extension the government, because I don't know that you can separate the political aspect, but one has to remember that the government is formed by the Jamaica Labour Party at this time.
But watch this, Obi. This election that they have held on to the result is a testimony of this administration lack of transparency to the people of Jamaica.
That's the point I just made. That there's already a credibility issue.
Oh, yes.
And the confidence level has waned very, very thin within the government. So for them to see something like this, the public to witness something like this before all their eyes, taking place in an internal election within the Labour Party.
Yes.
It doesn't argue well for the whole business of confidence and trust and credibility.
So,
you know,
so if they can't run an open election amongst themselves, what are their plans for the general election?
That's the bigger question that a lot of people are also asking, Colin. And you know, we saw all of this coming through, even at the political platform, because on Sunday, you know, we heard Dr. Wheatley, and I basically re-ask the question. You know, I'm not accusing, but I must ask the question based on the utterance from Dr. Wheatley. Is it that the Jamaica Labour Party is prepared to defy the court ruling coming out that was handed by Justice Sykes?
Obi,
because I get the impression.
Obi, hold on. I want the people to hear what Dr. Wheatley said on Sunday. Hold on.
Go ahead.
Plan to declare Portmore a parish, despite the legal challenge being mounted by the parliamentary opposition. Speaking at a Jamaica Labour Party meeting in East Central St. Catherine last evening, Member of Parliament for St. Catherine South Central, Dr. Andrew Wheatley, disclosed that the controversial Counties and Parishes Amendment Act 2025 has been gazetted after being signed by the Governor-General. He says the parish of Portmore will become a reality.
Labourites, we are approaching a general election. And if this Jamaica Labour Party government did not fulfill the commitment that we made in 2020, that we are going to establish Portmore as Jamaica's 15th parish, then when I use it back on the campaign trail on us and say, we lie, we are establishing Jamaica's 15th parish in Portmore. Portmore with a population now of almost 300,000. Our Minister of Local Government put in the work to ensure that the bill was tabled. It was passed. The Governor-General signed it off, and it has been gazetted in short order. The parish of Portmore will be a reality.
Member of Parliament.
So, Obi.
Yes.
What is he saying as it relates to the court ruling?
Well, that's my question, Colin, because I'm deducing that although Justice Sykes would have made a particular ruling to say, listen, that, you know, all the dots must be all the I must be dotted and the T's must be crossed.
Yes.
You know, it seems as if the JLP, by way of the utterances from MP Wheatley, they have something else up their sleeve. And here's the kicker, Colin. Remember now that the body that the Chief Justice say must carry out or should carry out their duty, the EAC. The EAC, through its chairman, have also said that, listen, they would need over a year for this process to be concluded. But listening to Dr. Wheatley here, you get the impression that they have something up their sleeve to get this through before the next general election, which is constitutional, and I'm using the word directly, which is constitutionally due by the 3rd of September of 2025.
Can we say the 15th of September, Obi? Because I tell you why. The 15th of September was the first sitting of the Parliament in 2020.
All right, fine.
The 15th of September.
So fine. But you know, Colin, in my opinion as well, what is also egregious, it was egregious that Wheatley went there. However, the fact that the Prime Minister of Jamaica
was sitting on the platform.
Yes. And actually allow that to basically pass. But then again, the Prime Minister himself said to the Jamaican people on the said platform that us moving away from the monarch is because of the PNP doing.
Yeah, man.
And you know, when you listen to those sort of things, but I'm going to say something to your colleagues, and I want yourself and your listeners to hear me. I would not, and I'm using my words here carefully, I would not be surprised if we get a turnout at the ballot box akin to somewhere in 1972 or 1976.
I think so
that
too.
Massive turnover because, sorry, Colin, because I anticipate that middle class, the intelligentsia, and just people who are using their common senses to really come out and send a serious message, because obviously this administration led by Andrew Holness and the Jamaica Labour Party continue to try to woodwink the Jamaican people and behave as if we're a bag of goons or buffoons.
Well,
and I believe that the people should get up off their laurels, get up off of them backside, and go and do the business and send a clear and precise message.
I think the people will do that.
And and trust me, Colin, I am not being a PNP man here to say what I'm saying, being a Jamaican.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Definitely. Obi, we are in serious times. We are in troubled waters. And right now, Jamaica needs to be rescued. We have a government that is telling us that the economy is stable while we are in a recession. We have a government that does not take responsibility for anything. We see where the Ministry of Health says E. coli is in the water, but we have operatives of the GLP trying to say, no, they didn't say it is in the water. It was in a sample. It was in a sample that they took. Hallelujah. Tell her. What can go so?
What can go? You heard the behavior of Senator Marlon Morgan yesterday when he called into my program.
I didn't hear him.
Literally abused Councillor Jesse James Clark, who brought this to the attention of the Jamaican public. The young man should be commended.
So why do I abuse the ministry? Why do I abuse the Ministry of Health? Didn't they put out a report that E. coli was in samples that they tested?
Absolutely.
So why do I abuse them? It's not Jesse do no report. Jesse James Clark not do no report, you know. Jesse James Clark just assess the reports and went to look at the water sites. So what? What?
Colin, there are just too many unnerving things that are taking place in the country. The first time I was able to poll my vote was in 1986 in a local government election. The PNP was in opposition then. I was living in Portmore, the constituency at that point in time where I'd lived. Fitz was the MP there, so I'd actually voted for Fitz in my first. I think it was the first general election. Because Fitz came into, I don't remember, but I voted for Fitz. However, I was able to vote in the local government election. At the time, my vote was in Northwest Manchester, and I remember I was the happiest young man. As a matter of fact, I was even boastful and bragging how delightful I was to go and poll my vote. There was a lady.
Hold a sec, Obi. Don't lose the thought. Hold on. Hello, good evening.
Hi, good evening.
Welcome to Portland Spice TV.
Yes, Virgin. I just want to ask you, if Damon Crawford went to the Senate and he dispelled what the JP said about Portmore.
Yes, he did.
And the Prime Minister went on Friday night, Sunday night, and he did the same thing. So it was Siaga who started the Portmore thing.
Well,
so what can go so, Virgin?
Me never hear him say Siaga started. Me hear him say them come and I say and them start Portmore. And him can't come with no data for debunk it. Can't come with no data.
But if Damon went to the Parliament, went to the Senate and said that, and he's coming back and he's saying he's right. They are right. That's what I'm saying. No, they are right.
But him don't give no data. Him don't tell you where him get film history from. Damian Crawford told us exactly where to go and find the history. And those are the facts.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, he just taking the wrong narrative to supporters.
Yeah, man, that's what he does, you know. That's what Andrew Wallace does. That's his style.
Yeah, and Brethren, it's really hard. It's hard to get those things, man. So,
yeah, man.
And I just your comment a while ago about the middle class and the educated. So what the PNP need to do is to appeal to the middle class and ask them to save Jamaica from this.
Yes.
Because I am saying that the JLP, they are prime on the unintelligent masses in the country.
Yes.
So when they say the things and they're not educated, they go in what they are saying.
Yeah.
So the PNP need to appeal to the persons middle class, were intelligent, with us vote all them wicked people, man.
All right, so
it's really hard.
We're going to work on it. We're going to work on it. Thanks for the. Where you calling from?
I'm saying the car already. I'm not saying the report that man.
No, me just ask you where you're calling from now.
I'm not calling.
All right, brother. Enough respect. Sorry about that, Obi.
Yeah, Colin, hear me. Hear me. I am. Colin, are you hearing me?
Yeah, man, but you have to stop listening to the thing in the background. The delay,
yeah, man,
the delay upon this massive, you know.
I was listening to I was listening. I know you have an active delay.
Terrible.
But let me say something to you, and to that call and others. Please do not go down that road. It is indeed a dangerous road. What happened? We must appeal to everybody. It's not about who educated from who not educated. Because you have people who are lettered that are not thinkers, like the man who hardly knowing ABC. So I saw something purloined, and I would urge to please cease and desist. Cease and desist.
All right,
Jamaicans are Jamaicans. Jamaicans are feeling the pangs of hell, and they understand what time it is. Some of the most exciting discourse that I've had are people who, not as a result of their fault, but just did not get the opportunity to pursue a particular journey.
I think the caller was basically piggybacking on what you said, you know, that the middle class and people who hold on, man. He was just piggybacking on what you were saying, that they should get up and go out there and cast their vote because they don't normally vote. So I think that's what he was piggybacking on.
Well, absolutely.
Not saying that we should just
that is appreciated.
Not saying that we should just focus on them, but they are a large part of who don't normally vote.
Yeah, but we have to be careful how we carry how the line is carried, because it can be misconstrued.
Definitely.
And, but certainly that body, that group, that middle ground there,
I just love to refer to them as the silent majority, because majority of them don't vote. They must get up and do something this time.
And go and do the business. And at this point, Colin, I am not even splitting ears. I am saying to them that they must go out and vote PNP. To be honest with you,
I am getting ready to wrap up, Obi, but I want to talk to you about one more thing before I let you go.
Go ahead.
The Integrity Commission, the GLP, the leader of government business in the House of Representatives, and the leader of government business in the Senate, both wrote to the chairman of the Integrity Commission, talking about this young man that is the acting director of corruption prosecution, and his association with the General Secretary of the People's National Party. There's also a response from the chairman of the Integrity Commission saying to them that come with some evidence and I will look into that when you come with evidence. What are your take? What is your take?
Beswick. Yes. First of all, Colin, the truth is that if you are to go by the rubric of the Jamaica Labour Party, it seems as if you won't be able to have any friends at all in Jamaica and who would get any form of position while you were in government. So I don't know what can go so, to use that phrase again. The truth is that if you are to go down that line, then the Prime Minister's business partner, not his friend, not just his friend, his business partner, Mr. Brown, is the head of the largest corporation that oversees the most massive project in Jamaica, also has in their command the land.
And then, Obi, and then remember that the Prime Minister is involved in real estate.
Absolutely.
With the same friend.
You know, when you look at that, Colin, you saw the nonsensical reason within the argument. But guess what? You know, I don't know if you're following the thing.
Yes.
Double down. Bartlett and Johnson Smith double down this evening. They actually engaged the chairman of the IC again, Her Worship, Mrs. Beswick, Lawrence Beswick. You know, so all in all, it seems as if there's no letting up. But the lady seems to be showing a bit of steel here.
Yes.
She's saying, listen, show me the money.
Show me the evidence.
The evidence. Where are the receipts?
Yes.
As they said in social media terms.
Yes.
Where are the receipts? You know, to show that, listen, there is anything other than just being friends. You know, these gentlemen may have met at university or wherever and so on and develop a friendship.
And this is a very small country, Obi.
I tell you something. One of my best friends, very good friend in the public sector right now. We share different political opinions, and he is my great friend, and I'm sure that there's nothing at all that I could do to corrupt him in carrying out his duty, and nothing he could do to corrupt me to carry out my duty. So I don't know where this is coming from.
Hypocrisy at its highest. Hypocrisy at its highest.
Yeah, absolutely, Colin. But I just want us to stay just in this little bubble. Just examine the situation with the Prime Minister business partner, the position he holds now, and just juxtapose that with the gentleman that is said to be Dayton Campbell friend.
But look at Brian Winter, Obi.
Mr. Brian Winter, his father was a government minister, a former government minister.
For the GLP?
For the GLP, of course.
So what we're talking about?
And indeed, I dare say, Colin, I encountered Mr. Winter. I remember years ago when Hot 102, the fund Hot 102, when they became a national station. They were based at 6 Ivor Green Crescent. I worked there at the time. And Mr. Winter, I came into contact with him. Very, very, very very nice, decent gentleman.
Yes.
You know, one of those persons within the politics and so and his son seems to have good demeanor as well. So I don't know where this thing come from, because somebody you're friendly with somebody you can't serve.
Somebody in the chat room is saying, but if he's loyal to Dayton after 20 years of friendship, what loyalty does the other man owe to his father?
Thank you very much.
Obi, may I go run here? We chat tomorrow.
All the best, my friend. But Colin, I can just in closing, as I like to say, that it is indeed election 2025. Keep your eyes on the prize.
And we're gonna start counting the seats then. We'll talk.
All the best.
Blessings, my brother. Hey, thanks everybody for joining in this evening. If you have not liked the video yet, like it up, please. We have over 750 people who watch the program. Like up the video. It no costs nothing for touch the thumbs up button. Just touch it. And remember to join us tomorrow evening right here, same place. We start at 4 p.m. Jamaica time, 5 in the US, 10 over there in the UK. Join us right here on Portland Spice TV. May the good Lord continue to bless and keep you. Make his face shine upon you and be gracious unto you. The Lord lift up his light and give you his peace, now and forevermore. Until we meet tomorrow evening, Portland Spice TV. Like, share, subscribe. And if you want to contribute, just go to the description. We have a, is a Zelle we have or a PayPal? Cash App. We have a Cash App. Talk to Me TV, Portland Spice. You can donate to the program, to the channel. Bless upon yourself. One love. Join me tomorrow evening, live, right here on Portland Spice TV. Blessings.